huh?
Oh shit! I should probably turn Metallica off. We don't want a copyright strike, huh?
No.
Alrighty then. We're live. Sorry, you guys
You
were
did?
listening to Saint Anger by Metallica. My bad. Let me know how the sound levels are. Sorry, you guys
You
were
did?
listening to Saint Anger by Metallica. My bad. Okay, it sounds good on my end. But I do need to lower this Halloween pick. Move to bottom. Hold on, guys. Come back. So what's up, Pete?
Not much.
What is going on, my man?
So there's I made my video, right? Like, cause I get a lot of quiet time now. My kids' grandparents moved close by. They haven't seen them in a while, so they spend a lot of time at grandma's. So I made a video, and people are coming to it saying you need a Twitter, Pete. I don't
Yeah, I saw that. You guys can kiss for my ass.
I don't know why they're doing it, man. I don't.
Yeah, no idea. It was magic.
But you gotta do what the fans want, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, Pete, but they love you, man. Can't you just get a Twitter?
No,
Come on, Pete.
not gonna happen.
Okay, so here's what's
This
gonna
is the
happen.
hill I've chosen to die on. All right.
All right, no. See here, yes, I do agree. Caesar Saint Anger is a shit album. I had on a Metallica playlist. That's the song that happened to come on. But here's what's gonna happen. You guys are gonna blow Pete up until he gets a Twitter. You're gonna annoy him so bad that he's gonna get a Twitter. Right, Pete? Right?
Challenge accepted.
Nudge, nudge. Right. Come on, guy. So, Rambo is telling me something interesting that I think Pete will have a lot to say about, and a lot of you in the chat will have a lot to say about. Go ahead, Rambo.
Well, D-Batch, well, first of all, Crap Gamer was, like, bitching, because, I guess a couple of, games journalists got a free, Xbox One X, and so did Boogie2988, whatever. And they were like, these are the most anti-Xbox people that they know, and they get a free Xbox One X. And D-Batch responded to me, he's like, man, that's damn straight, man. Like all these these Xbox haters getting a free X, whenever we're the one doing all the work for them, putting it down for the Xbox. And he said everybody in BGST should get a Xbox One X for free. Facts. I was like, you got to be fucking joking, man. It was like, first of all, they're not anti-Xbox. They just happen to be critical. This one dude, one of the guys that they're bitching about, he actually makes his living off of writing about Microsoft and Xbox. Like his Microsoft's business avenues, every business avenue they have is his livelihood. But somehow he's anti-Microsoft.
Well, in that case, I have probably played more of the Xbox exclusives than the Xbox, so I should get a free one. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, and Dealer Gaming came at me because Dealer Gaming. Okay, you know who he is, right, Pete?
Dealer Gaming?
Yeah.
I probably have heard of him, but
He does the videos with Colt Eastwood and shit.
okay.
Like Colt Eastwood. He thinks he's
don't they have a group name, or they want
RDX podcast or whatever.
Okay.
They think that
How am
they're
I supposed to remember all these fucking idiots, right?
well. They think that they're some sort of like PC guru. Just because they happen to have mom's PC in the room, and they're like, yeah, I know that. So I mean, they're the ones that for a while were claiming that they really think it's going to be Ryzen, Vega, and all that crap. And anyway, Dealer Gaming, huge fucking fanboy, and he puts out a tweet that says, all these fucking fanboys are whatever. He goes, quit fucking being a fanboy and just enjoy your system. And I quoted the tweet and I was like, dear God, the fucking self-awareness is zero. And he like one of his little flunkies like responded back to me. Look at you, man. You're nothing but a pony. And I was like, the fuck makes you think I'm a pony? Like, you don't even fucking know me. Well, look at your timeline. It says PS4 hashtag PS4 share. And I'm like, okay, so me sharing screenshots from a game that I'm playing on my PlayStation makes me a pony? Like, dude, I mean, come back whenever you can have and like can handle talking with an intellectual. Just grow up a little bit. And then Dealer was like, have you heard his fucking voice? Yeah, God, his voice. I can't listen to it 1 second longer. I'm like, dude, why the fuck are you, a grown man, listening to my voice like that? It's like that's kind of suspect. I was like, is this your coming out? I did the same thing I did to you. It's like, it's okay, Dealer, man. We will be there for you. It's okay, man. You can come out now. And like he eventually
thanks for spreading
quit,
that love there, Rambo.
he kept on like another person jumped in and was like, yeah, his voice and Cyrus. Thank God Cyrus is there. He goes, well, I mean, maybe he said maybe you should like I think Cyrus is something like maybe you should like picture him instead of listening, instead of his voice whenever next time you're masturbating, unless that's what you're doing now. And I was like, oh shit, man! Like Cyrus was getting in on it.
Wow.
Like I find the absolute fucking dumbest people on Twitter.
I'm starting to think they find you.
They do. Like
The chicken or the egg thing.
I do
like,
not.
Did they start congregating to him because they liked something about him, or they didn't like something about him, or did the fact that they were congregating, then they just happened to pick him as a target, and then that just made more of them and more of them, because then they start talking to each other and they'll agree with each other because they're all idiots.
Yep, I don't. I think that for some reason they like, because I don't ever use my search feature in Twitter. Like I never go to anybody else's Twitter page or anything like that. I just simply look at my timeline and that's it. And I'll have I follow some Xbox guys, and I guess it's that they associate with Dealer and other things, but they'll retweet stuff and it'll pop up on my timeline, and it's just too fucking good for me to just keep scrolling past. So I've got to do it. And I was like, dear God, I triggered his ass, man. Like he went off on me. I was like, dude, man, like you're fucking stupid if you think you're not a fanboy. Like you're just fucking clueless. The self-awareness in these people are just it's gone.
Yeah.
And Neverland, the reason why Rand didn't get one is because the Xbox community doesn't like Rand as much as a whole. Let me just make sure, because it's Halo's in here, since I have to spell everything out for Halo since he's slow.
We don't want to be objectively incorrect.
Yeah,
just subjectively.
If you notice the following, like if you go to Colts or Dealers or Crap Gamers, they're like 20,000, 30,000, and here Rand is more of a gamer than all of them three combined, and only has 8,000 subscribers. So there you go. And I mean, if he actually deserves the following of all three of them and his own. But if he would have had a following like Boogie or any of them other people, he would have easily got one. The only reason they give these, I mean, they give them to people that aren't even fucking gamers. They simply just talk about products and shit. They give them to them too, simply because it's free marketing. You give it to somebody like that has 2 million subscribers, and they get 200,000 views a day, maybe 500,000 views a day.
If Casey Neistat wanted one, he could get one, and he's not even really a gamer.
Oh, I'm sure I would imagine he might have one.
So yeah, I mean, same with like Keemstar. I'm surprised they didn't give Keemstar one. I mean, that dude is a gamer.
I think Keemstar has been blacklisted though, because of the nigger thing.
Hey now, no, that's the hard R, Rambo.
but I no, because he's the one who who said it or whatever. But I think he's been blacklisted by most of the companies.
Hey, do the OG Xbox games have achievements or no?
That I don't know, man. I have yet to even think about a single game that I fucking want to play from 17 years ago.
Why not, Rambo?
Because I have so many fucking games from, I don't know, this couple of years to play. What's funny, though, is that all these fuckers, like every single one of these little bitchy little fuckers on the Xbox, talking about PlayStation exclusives. Well, at least with Gears, we get to play it for a while. It's not just one and done like the PlayStation exclusives with the single player. And they're all calling all these backwards compatible games they're actually asking for from Xbox on the original Xbox. I can't wait. I hope this one's backwards compatible. I hope this one is. They're all fucking single player games. I'm like, look at that. You're asking for games from 17 years ago that are single player games. That means that those were lasting memories in your eyes, but the multiplayer games aren't really going to be lasting memories in your eyes.
Even if they are, it's not like you can reliably get that experience back today.
No, like you're gonna
even just a few years, people really start to stop playing multiplayer games.
You can move. I mean, you can
last 10, 15, or 17 years.
You can play a single player game now and 20 years later and still have a memorable experience. You try that with a multiplayer game, it's never going to work. And but for the multiplayer community, for the most part, as soon as a new one comes out that's hot, they all move on. And so that's the reason why. Yeah, Neverland. I canceled my X pre-order.
Again?
No, I just canceled it now. I didn't cancel. I thought I was talking about canceling it last time, but I got an email from Amazon that said, "Oh, your delivery date's November 13th," and I was like, "Yeah, fuck you. I pay you $100 a year, and you're not even able to give it to me on release day. You can kiss my ass." So that solidified the deal. I canceled it, and I've been thinking. I know this is going to be earth shocking, but
You're gonna get
I figured that I would announce it tonight.
Yep, he's getting a Switch.
I'm very likely going to get a Switch and 3 games and a Pro controller.
Fuck it, I told you. Called it. But Rambo, the Switch doesn't have achievements or trophies.
I know. I really don't know how much I really don't know how much I'd play it though. That's the reason why I'm really kind of thinking. It's like I'm tossing the idea because it looks like something like I would maybe use, but then it really has something that I really probably wouldn't use because I didn't use my Vita that much. So I mean, I was wondering is it best for me to make, since I'm a trophy hunter, buy a used Vita and a used PS3 and call it a day?
Probably. I mean, people call you a pony for that, but they already do that.
They already do anyway. But I thought about buying an S too, just because that way I can play Cuphead and shit. But
yeah, why don't you just get an S?
I might. I've got to figure out what I want to do with that $500. But
oh, you had it all paid for?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon hadn't taken it yet, but I had it all put back and ready to go for it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to get one in February. So
I probably will get one. I might get one in February, depending on if, Crackdown and Sea of Thieves and State of Decay have, release dates by then.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I have a reason to get it. I'll have the 3 exclusives there. I have Super Lucky Tales. I'll have the Pixar game and something else to play. So it's 5 games, 6 games to play.
Yeah.
So that might be worth it for me at that point. But right now, I mean, literally, if it came in right now, right today, I'd plug it in and go right back to my PlayStation.
Yeah, I can see that. There's not really much of a reason to get one right this second.
Not if you're not if you're using it for exclusives. Now, I mean, if it's your primary console like yours, then I mean, I'm not saying you should get one now, but I mean, I can see why people would want one now because like that they play all their third-party games and everything on there. But if you're using it for exclusives, like there's absolutely just no point at all in spending $500 on like what 2 games this year, like
Yeah.
3 maybe.
I would get one at launch. I mean, because it actually would be perfect time. I'd have the money and everything, but I want to see the launch first because every time I've ever bought a console at launch, I've had bad luck with it. So
There's always a couple bugs.
yeah.
Well, if they were doing
And
anything,
they're not always the same. You know, they're not always red ring, but there's always something, and it always gets. You know, whether it's you never know whether it'll be a software fix or if they'll have to release an Xbox One X. God, that's a stupid fucking
no.
game. Version
Okay,
2.
I figured out why they called it the Xbox One X.
Because the acronym.
Yes, if you
Yeah,
go
'cause it's
Xbox,
Xbox. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, it's still stupid.
it took me a fucking while to figure that one out
Still
until I started
fucking-
typing it and I started looking at it going,
I get
motherfucker,
it,
that
it's
sounds
meta as
Xbox.
fuck, but it's still fucking stupid.
No,
It's catchy though. I think it's pretty catchy. I mean, it's better than the Xbox One.
They should have gone
Yeah.
with Scorpion. That was a better name.
You mean Scorpio?
Well, the
Whatever.
reason why they didn't go with that is because they had to name it Xbox One something because they weren't making a new console. Because they if they would have named it Scorpio, you know how many people would have thought that that was a new console and that their new game their games would not work on that thing.
Yeah, like
It would have
the Wii
taken
U.
it would have taken a hell of a lot of marketing to like get people to understand that that's not a new console. And we all know that Microsoft isn't really into marketing these days.
Such a bully, Rambo. Such fucking bully. Microsoft is good at everything. Don't you know this?
Oh, got it, man. They're good at sucking right now.
No. Man.
Not lying.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, they came out on the if you were a PS2 owner and you were enjoying your PS2 when the Xbox came out, there's really nothing on there that says I have to play it. You know, I have to own it. Besides maybe the ones that wanted to go over there for Halo.
Shooters. Yeah. Halo, Call of Duty, like a lot of that.
Well, I
was
mean, Call of Duty was on PlayStation 3. I mean, PlayStation 2 as well. So I mean, it wasn't like an exclusive to Xbox. So the only thing,
but it didn't have multiplayer like the Xbox did. And
well, the
there was a lot
Xbox,
of
the original
other
Xbox
shooters.
didn't have it on Call of Duty.
Yeah, it did. Call of
The
Duty
LAN
2.
party ones. I mean, but that's it.
It had it on Call of Duty 2, didn't it?
The LAN party ones.
I could have swore they had online multiplayer because they had
No.
they had a whole bunch of other. There was like 3 games that could do online multiplayer on PS2, but there was a whole service for Xbox for the original Xbox.
Oh shit.
No, there wasn't
they
that
had,
many.
like-
there wasn't that many games on the original
Oh, there
Xbox
was-
that could go online.
Oh, there was a ton, dude. There was the
Xbox
next
Live
game
didn't
I
start
played-
till the
Till
very
Halo
end of the
2,
original
man.
Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still more than There's still more than the
But yeah, but we're
PS2
talking.
had.
I know, but what I'm saying though is like I'm talking about like when the original Xbox came out.
Dude.
Like they didn't have anything besides like Halo to like really draw people over, and I mean they drew some people over
I
obviously.
think
I
there
mean,
was more than you think because I'm going through my head of the list of like shooter type games, first person shooter games, or even third person shooter games on the PS2, and there was way more on the Xbox even before.
I'm not-
online
I'm not. I'm just saying that they didn't have like any like it wasn't like an exclusive ridden console that like you just had to have it so that way you could have these experiences. Like there was a few exclusives and the rest of them were multi-plats that just had sometimes had the ability with the LAN parties or even later on with the online. It was just a little bit different features that they
Yeah,
had with it.
I got
That was the main.
the original Xbox in the first few months it launched, and when Xbox Live came out, the marketing for that was fucking horrible. I didn't know
Yeah.
what the hell it was. At Walmart, all you
It really
saw was a
didn't-
headset with a card. I'm like, what the fuck?
It really didn't kick off until the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Like they launched it like right before the 360 launched.
And besides, DSL back then wasn't even available in my area, so I'm
No,
like,
you had dial-up.
yeah, I was like, the phone cord doesn't fit in this goddamn thing. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Like,
But the thing is, though, is like they only were able to pull over around 30 million people from the PlayStation and Nintendo, of course. And that seems like their base number is around 30 million. Because if you go to the Xbox 360, the numbers are skewed quite a bit because of the Red Ring of Death. But they started out really good. I mean, they were focused on exclusives. They had the Halo series, and they popped out with Gears, and they popped out with Forza, and things were looking good. And then all of a sudden, like at the last half of the gen, they were like, fuck it, dude. We don't need anything anymore. The only thing we need to do is connect. Connect is the future. And
Kinect just died. I did a video on that.
Yeah. Well, they doubled down on Connect and kind of forgone all their other exclusives. And PlayStation was like, this is our opportunity. We actually have 17 studios. Let's use them. And they did. And they pumped out exclusives after exclusives after exclusives. And it made people like that were on 360 go buy a PS3 so that way they could play like games like The Last of Us, Uncharted stuff, and God of War, and all these different things. And they kind of just carried that momentum, because if you remember, Last of Us launched right before the PS4 launched. Like it was like maybe about a year before. And so like they were ending the generation off on a really high note. And they just carried that over into PS4, and Xbox was ending on the Xbox 360 in a really sour note, and they definitely carried that over to the Xbox One.
Yeah, like I said in my video, with them killing the Kinect, like actually killing it, it's been a paperweight for a long goddamn time, but with them stopping the manufacturing of it, hopefully that frees up some kind of manpower and money where they can go back to being just a kick-ass console. I don't know if it will. It's Microsoft we're talking about here. Rambo.
Are y'all there?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened. Like it was still in there, but it wouldn't as far as like the voice, I couldn't hear y'all and y'all couldn't hear me.
Oh, okay. Well, like I was saying, with them killing the Kinect, hopefully it frees up some manpower and finances for them to go back to being a badass console rather than just, well, you can move and it'll recognize your face. I mean,
I really hope so, because
they manufactured it up till now. The fuck are they doing?
What sucks though is that like how many studios? Because remember whenever they first launched the Xbox One with the Kinect, they said they even created studios to create these games for this Kinect.
Yep.
And I mean they had everything planned. How many studios are just gone?
All of them.
because they fucked up. They doubled down on this whole Kinect thing, or tripled down, I guess now, because like they already doubled down on back in the 360. So the Xbox One was a triple down, and I don't know. And Halo, I'm not Jesus. Like you just want to take things literally whenever you want to take things literally. We obviously know there were exclusives on the Xbox, the original Xbox console. I'm just saying that there wasn't just a boatload of them. And so I mean, it was either like you went over to Xbox because you wanted a more of a shooter experience. And I mean, there was a big, like, that was like the big reason, like back then, that a lot of people switched over was because one was considered a dude bro console, and the other was considered a story-based console.
Well, Xbox kind of marketed themselves as a dude bro console. It worked. Too bad there weren't more dude bros out there.
Halo, I'm sorry. Whenever you say there's a shitload and I say there's a shitload, there's a difference. Because your shitload is like maybe 7 a year. My shitload is like 30 or 40 a year. And PlayStation had around 30 to 40 a year, and they still consistently have that. And Xbox never has actually had that type of output. They had a lot of third party deals back then because they were a new console and they were able to garner some trust from the or some risk takers in the industry. But for the most part. I mean, they've never had a huge wide array of first party studios.
Yeah, the PS3 was 600 at launch. That's why I didn't get one.
Yeah, I bought mine at launch.
$600, Rambo?
I got the $700 one.
Wow.
Dude. Yeah, my brother did that, and I was like, nope, no, thank you. I'm
Well,
happy
mine
with
was-
my 360.
Mine was kind of like an accident because I wasn't going to get one. I had been looking at them, been looking at it online and thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one, and then I was like, nah. Well, launch day came, and we happened to be at Walmart during the launch day, and I was with my mom and my kids, and my ex-wife called me. Was like, "What are y'all doing for Christmas?" And I was like, "Well, you're gonna have them, so you need to make sure you have a present for them." Well, I don't have any money, so you're gonna have to do something. So that day, that happened to be launch day of the thing. Whenever I was there, and I went ahead and just paid $700 and got one.
Dude, I had started my training to be a department manager at Walmart during the PlayStation 3 launch, and we only got 10 of them. It was fucking nuts. And I lived in Northern California at the time, up in a town called Sonora, and it was really cold. It was even snowing off and on, and there were 10 kids waiting in line for almost a day for this fucking thing. I felt so bad for them. I got the store manager to move the soda machine over so they could plug in space heaters where the soda machine was. It was horrible, but they got their PlayStations. I mean,
I don't know, man. I enjoyed the hell out of my PlayStation 3, my launch one. But I can tell you, I never once played a single PS2 game on it. Never once did I even mess with a PS2. And as soon as the Slim came out, I traded that fat one in and got me a Slim, and I never looked back. I never cared about backwards compatibility.
The PS3 to me didn't really pick up until they launched the Slim. Like it was.
It didn't like
until then.
Well, yeah, because like the launch games that they had were shit, and I mean, like, well, first of all, we went from like all these story-driven exclusives to I forgot what game launched with what exclusive launched with the PS3, but it was an online shooter, and it was like,
on 3?
yeah. I was like, what the hell are we were all like, what the hell are you doing? This ain't fucking Xbox, like, why are you releasing a shooter as your exclusive? And like there was a lot of hate for that damn console, and rightfully so. They just completely like missed their fucking audience all to hell.
Yeah.
The only difference was between like PS3's PS3 launch or PlayStation's PS3 launch and Xbox's Xbox One launch is that PlayStation 3 listened, and they decided, okay, we're working on a Slim. We got a Slim put out. We're lowering the price. The price slashed like crazy, and then at that point forward, they just started like pumping out exclusives, and like Xbox just isn't capable of doing that. And they were capable of getting like third-party exclusives last generation because they were the market leader, but they don't have that luxury anymore. So they don't, and PlayStation didn't have that luxury in the PlayStation 3, but they had the studios to back it up. Whereas Microsoft didn't. Whenever they had the lead, they didn't take the money and invest it in their first party.
Yeah.
I don't know what Microsoft's doing that they're
I don't
first
think
party,
they're
but
not like capable of doing it. They're just not doing it.
no, I don't know. I think that obviously, if anybody's capable of buying first party studios and making them, it would be Microsoft in this situation because they're the ones with billions of dollars. It's just a matter of they're not willing to pump the money into the Xbox division.
And it's it kind of bothers me because it's a little sad.
It is, because it really makes me think that Microsoft or Xbox is headed the way within a few years to be the Steam of consoles.
Well, a lot of people would not consider that a bad thing. I
I'm not talking about like having Steam on the console. I'm talking about
No,
just the
I
Steam.
know what you mean. I mean, but
I mean, there's a lot of people that play only third-party games, but like that would be, I would never in my life even look at an Xbox. I don't give a shit if they put out a 20 teraflop system and had 17 CPUs in it that's capable of running 100 games at one time, and
don't
it
you
wouldn't
think
matter.
that's a little fanboyish though, Rambo? I mean, honestly.
Well, no, because I don't buy. I all my friends are on PlayStation. So for me to switch over to Xbox, they've got to get more than just third party, because that's where, if I'm going to play third party, I'm going to play with my friends that I know, that I've been knowing for what, 15 years or 10 years, I guess, whatever, however long it was. So I mean that's where I would want to play. So the only thing that would get me to buy an Xbox would be exclusive wise, and if they have none, then there's really nothing for me.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if I didn't have the friends I had on PlayStation, then yes, I mean, it wouldn't, at that point, it wouldn't matter. But the friends are really, really what keeps me at PlayStation no matter what. Like, everybody keeps saying, well, you can buy your exclusives on PlayStation and still buy your third party on Xbox One X. But I'm like, but all my friends are still on PlayStation. So, I mean, the little resolution bump or whatever, I mean, obviously it's a pretty decent bump or whatever, but at the same time it's not enough for me to just to leave all my friends behind and try to make a new online friendship or whatever, because at the same time is like right now pretty much everybody's got their clique that they run with on their consoles. Like if the new multiplayer game comes out, most people are already setting up before the game comes out, setting up their parties and stuff like that, like ready to go when that game launches. Well, a newcomer coming in is going to have a hard time pairing up with somebody in there because they don't know anybody in there. You know what I mean? That's going to be trying to figure out, okay, well, is your team full? Is my team, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah. I just play on the Xbox really because the controller's got me hooked. It always has.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been an Xbox guy for a while, right? I mean, since the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that would be like you switching over to PlayStation now after having all your friends on Xbox for so long.
I couldn't do it. I mean.
So I mean, like if Xbox just decided to, I mean, obviously if Xbox decided to quit, you could, but
oh yeah. For
you just to make that decision to swap over, like if PlayStation started having a 20 teraflop system and 17 CPUs and all this great fucking system, you would still buy it on the lesser system, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, because for one, that stuff doesn't matter all that much to me.
Yeah,
and
but your friends are there, right?
Yeah, and the social aspects of gaming means a lot to me. I mean.
Yeah, so I mean that's the reason why, if they go completely Steam-like service, I'll have no use for them.
Yeah. I don't know. We got to get Pete to either buy a console or get a Twitter. So what do you want, Pete?
Something. Yeah, you got to do something, man. Like you got to make a choice right now.
I'm on Discord. What the fuck?
You're either going to make a Twitter, or you're going to buy a console by the end of the year. So which one is it?
I don't have any money for a console, and I'm not
Twitter's free.
Twitter, so
Twitter's free.
No, it costs in my soul, man.
You don't even have one, man. I thought you lived on the edge. I thought you were an edge lord.
I am.
All the dankest memes and edgiest memes are on Twitter, Pete.
You missed a really good video that I posted too, man. Really good one. But I'm not going to share it with you because it's only for my Twitter fam.
I'll get on with my day.
He's like,
I think I'll be all right.
Oh, man.
You could help me combat the evils of gaming one evil at a time.
So, yeah. Have you guys seen much Super Mario Odyssey?
No.
I have not. I saw there's a new NeoGAF, right?
I didn't know there was a new one.
It's called
and the head is already denying the allegations and blah blah blah.
It's called Resetera or Reset Era or something like that.
What?
Well, it's not. It's. I don't know if you know him or not, but Shinobi and
Yep.
Z Huge EX
I know Shinobi.
and Nibel.
Yeah, Shinobi's the only one out of that bunch I know.
Okay, well they started this, and it's basically a forum. I mean, none of them were really liked it. NeoGaf, Nibel was actually a NeoGaf moderator for a while. Shinobi went there to talk, but he was always called a fanboy or whatever. And Z Huge X wasn't even. He got banned from NeoGaf. So they created this reset era thing. And right now, it's not open to the public. Right now, they're only sending out invites.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they're going to eventually open it up. But hey, there was a post that somebody shared, and it was about Mario Odyssey. And there was somebody that was literally fucking offended because of the Italian tropes that they kept using in the game. They were making Italians look lazy and Mexicans look lazy. And they equated the fucking Rabbids to lazy black people, like making fun of lazy black people. And the whole thread was like, I read through most of the thread. I mean, it was like a lot of replies, so I quit after a while. But most of the thread was like going, I don't know if you're trolling or you're just fucking stupid, you know, because I'm a fucking Italian, like full-blood Italian, and there's nothing offensive about this. And
Italians aren't pussies. They're like the Irish. They don't give a fuck if their shit is memed as a leprechaun for Lucky Charms.
And there was Mexicans in there going, look, I'm like full-on Mexican. And he's like, if anything, we feel honored that, you know, a Japanese company felt like they would put us, you know, put something from us in the game. They like, you need to fucking quit your bitching and go back to like your safe space or whatever. I mean, they were letting them have it, so I was glad to see that. But I was like, I could not believe that somebody was taking offense to Mario. Like,
oh, believe it, dude.
Well, I did see. I watched a little bit of a live stream of it on Facebook, and there was this glitch where a guy he jumped over a wall and you just fall straight through the map and die.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was amazing. I was like, wow, fucking Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't know, Nintendo, like the game. Shit, man. It looks fun, but that's all it really does look is just fun, you know, like, and I can only have so much, you know, fun, unadulterated fun or whatever for so long before I'm just like, whatever. And I'm kind of bored with it.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I'm really debating on the whole Switch thing, because all their games are just fun. You know, they're like, I mean, it's not a bad thing, obviously. I mean, people enjoy it, but for me, it's just, I'd rather have like a very strong narrative and a story, like an adult driven story and stuff like that, rather than just a single player go out and mindless fun and shit. So,
I don't know if Metrox is listening, but I mean, the games do not have at least stories with a narrator or shit. They just don't.
I mean, even their cutscenes in the games are just kind of like bland. Like, it's almost like them just looking at each other, and it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just they have a really weird way of going about making their games, and I really wish that they'd added an achievement system, because I'd buy it tomorrow if they said, hey, tomorrow the update's going to have an achievement system in it. I'd be at the store buying one.
Yeah.
But I mean, because that would give me, I mean, that would at least give me something to look forward to with playing that game. But I don't know.
Speaking of phony outrage and getting offended and all that, PC Gamer wrote an article.
Here we go.
I guess it was the first article by this guy, Jay Costello. Blizzard's failure to curb toxicity undermines Overwatch's inclusive message.
What?
Yeah. Blizzard hasn't done enough about toxicity, and that's bad, because it's even more harsh when women or people of color or LGBTQ barbecue what the fuck pwned people get harassed in their games. And so Blizzard hasn't done enough to take care of this. Oh my god, bro. And the comments are fucking glorious because there's only two types of people posting. The first type is the social justice idiot saying, "Oh, thank God, somebody's finally taking a stand about this. We need to fix this."
Do gay people really get that offended by people calling by hearing the word faggot and shit?
Ask Metro, right?
Well, man, it really blows my mind like that because I mean I'm white and I can hear somebody say cracker. I can hear somebody call me a redneck, a hillbilly, or whatever. I'm like, Indian. I don't give a shit.
I've heard all those insults. They don't bother me.
Oh, bro, I tried to post this, right? But of course they reviewed my comment and decided that it wasn't good. But dude,
I've been banned. I've been banned by PC Gamer, so
These fucking gamers and game journalists, of course I put that in quote, get fucked, fucking PC Gamer.
I figured out what it is though, is that the people that work for GameStop, when they leave GameStop, they go to work for Kotaku and Polygon.
Oh, maybe.
The stupidity level matches.
Oh man, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous though. I'd invite everybody to read it and gander at the comments. They're like I said, they're great.
Like I said, I can't.
You could open it in an incognito window though, couldn't you?
I've tried and I can't see it.
Oh.
Like I don't know how.
I've got an archive. You won't be able to see the comments though.
Yeah, they completely banned me.
Dude, it's like if I were to page it out, it'd probably be like 3 whole pages.
Damn.
Yeah, it's long as fuck, dude. Like it's 4 or 5 good scrolls down.
Well,
dude fucking went at it, bro. And it's like
Vice.
Huh.
Vice is getting in on it. Vice is getting in on it, and they decided to have a reporter, one of their reporters, of course, the lovely people of Vice are, go talk to the creator of Wolfenstein, the Bethesda guy at Wolfenstein, not really the creator, but the publisher, and he was like talking to like in this little tidbit thing before this is kind of like the leading up to the interview. So they gave a little tidbit, and he was like, "It's a game about killing Nazis, and if you have a problem with killing Nazis, then I don't know why anybody would have a problem with that." And he's like,
"What possible for the people who?"
Well, no, wait, no,
Nazis.
No. The reporter goes, "Are you kind of trying to talk about Donald Trump?" And he was like, "No, I'm talking about killing Nazis." And he goes, "It sounds like you're trying to kick the hornet's nest." And he's like, "Well, if that's the case and the hornet's nest is filled with Nazis, then fuck them." I mean, like if that's, the guy's the guy's saying, "Look, this game is not fucking political. Yeah, we put some of the hashtags in there because why not fuck them, but it wasn't a malicious thing towards like the way the left is leaning. It was more of just like fuck the actual Nazis, and the Vice is trying to get him to narrow it down to where this game really was about Trump because Trump is a Nazi, and it's like, why can't we just fucking enjoy our games, man? Why do you have to bring your politics into this shit? And I've figured out that every games journalist writers did not want their fucking job. So what they did is they went into journalism. They graduated with their little, certificate of completion. And since I didn't get the big journalism degree, they couldn't go in straight to like the New York Times and stuff like that to apply. So they had to apply somewhere, and they applied like a Polygon, and hoping that they would get like their, political desk or their news desk or something. But they gave them games journalism, and then while they were doing this, I okay, I play games, cool, whatever, every once in a while. But they thought, I'm never going to get anywhere. Like, nobody's ever going to notice a fucking story about a fucking video game. Like, no matter how good of a story I write, it's just going to go under the radar because, nobody in the higher-ups is paying attention to fucking video game articles. And so they thought, well, how can I get my article noticed by the bigwigs? and be able to move on, to the area that I want. So that's whenever they decided to start bringing politics and shit like that into gaming, so that way they could, let the people in the desk, if they wanted, where they really want the job, to actually be able to look at their writings and see if they did a good job of writing it. That's my thought process on it.
It sounds like it could seriously be legit. I mean,
because none of them. If you look at the games journalists, none of them really know how to play games that well. Like the main ones, obviously. I'm not talking about it. Hashtag not all. I mean, not every single one of them that's on Metacritic is a bad gamer, but
yeah, I don't know. Is Elon Milestone considered a journalist?
No, he is, but
I mean, he writes more truth than any of the so-called quote-unquote.
Well, he's probably considered more of a freelance
Sure.
journalist, but
I mean, he is technically a journalist, and he does clearly know and love games.
Yeah,
so there's at least one out there.
Well, I mean, there's several out there, but I think it's the main ones from like the Polygons, the Kotakus,
I think it's
more
top down than you think, though, Rambo. I think the heads of these companies are just.
I mean, it could be the heads of the companies.
Anybody who would believe the same, SJW principles they believed in.
Or it could be the heads of the companies.
Of whether they were good at games or not, and they just said, "Well, you're right
about
games."
But it could be the heads of the company wanting their work to be like their management style to be noticed, so therefore they're making them write about politics and shit like that. And it could be just a whole mixture of things, but it's something definitely where they did not want, these people did not technically want gaming.
Right.
It's just too damn clear. Like, there's no way that this mass exodus happened
in, or they're incompetent, or a combination of both. Because
there's just no possible way that the largest form of media in consumption by the world, actually.
I think so.
There's no way in hell that garners the type of journalists that we have, without them being placed there, without even wanting to be. Because the amount of money the gaming brings in globally, you would figure that we'd have some of the top journalists, working on the stuff, but we just don't. So I think that, there's got to be some other motive there besides just gaming. Like, it's just not. I really don't think that some of them might not even really truly feel the articles that they write. They're just trying to get noticed and trying to, figure out a way to get white supremacy into, Mario Odyssey. It's probably coming.
Oh, it's coming, dude. There's going to be something. There always is.
It's insane, man. It's just outright fucking insane.
Didn't they already? Because can't you use the hat or whatever to take over like a black woman or something?
I don't know. I remember there was something about the hat that they had a problem with. I remember that, but I can't remember what it was.
Because you invaded like a woman of color, you overrode her agency and dehumanized her and blah 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 blah.
Isn't that virtual rape in the Nintendo world?
Something like that. Yeah, I swear to God, somebody already wrote an article about that like a couple of months ago.
Jeez.
I don't mean somebody came, like, there was so many people that were like, when Mario Odyssey released and it got a 97 in Metacritic, there were so many people sharing that Metacritic score and talking about how it's objectively a good game. And I'm like, no, man, like, that doesn't, just because it's got a 97 does not mean it's a good game. I was like, you're talking about
this game get like a 9 out of 10 from the critics?
I'm not even sure, but I was telling him, I was like, if you can't be like 1 week talking how bad like Dean Takahashi is and the Polygon writers are, and then the next week whenever they give this collective rating comes out, you're like, oh, well, all of them together that makes an objective. I'm like, it's the same people that sucked at these fucking games that are giving these games 97s. I was like, so, I mean, and plus I said, just because it's a 97 does not mean that people are going to like it. It's like, how many games has, been out there that's like been a 60 or a 70, and people call it their game of the year, even though there's like several games that ranked higher. was like, it's just some sort of like a thing for y'all to try to toss around as a badge of honor. Like
after the magazines went under and the websites had gotten really bad, like in the early 2000s, I would read the like IGN's reviews of something, and like I did two things. One is if they didn't like it, I was almost guaranteed to like it. And two is I would pay attention to how they wrote about what they didn't like. Like if they were talking about how it was horrible, there was sexist jokes and blah 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 in Shadow Warrior, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, I like sexist jokes, I'm probably gonna like this.
Well,
but then the other thing was like you could also like kind of sort of tell how the game ran, because if they complained about, you know, control issues or shit like that. So, but that's the thing, I never read their reviews at all, like considering their opinion as, you know, correct,
yeah, I mean, like
or anything like that. Yeah.
I told the guy, I was like, I don't, I was like, I don't read reviews. I was like, I've never. He's like, so you disagree with all reviews? And I was like, I don't know. I said, because I don't fucking read it. Well, so that means, do you agree with this review? And I'm like, what part of me saying I don't read fucking reviews do you not understand? He's like, you're not answering my question. I'm like, because I've already answered it 5 fucking times. I don't read them. I was like, I couldn't tell you, like, any game that I've ever loved or whatever, I could never tell you what the review score was, because I don't give a shit. I was like, I go and I'll look on if I don't know anything about the game, I'll look at the little pictures on the back and go, okay, and move on. I was like, I've been doing that for 30 plus years, and I'm not going to stop now. And they were like, well, you write reviews. So that, like, isn't that kind of hypocritical? And I was like, no. I said, I'm putting out my opinion. I said, but I tell everybody, don't just take my opinion for it.
Go see for yourself.
See for yourself. Do some research on your own and figure out what if you like it, then here you go. But just because I rate a game that's 9 out of 10 doesn't mean that it's a 9 out of 10 for you. It's just so, these people are so fucking retarded when it comes to these reviews. Like, well, you're just mad because Nintendo can make a 97 game and Sony can't. I was like, I don't give a shit. Like,
right? Does anybody really care about what a review score is of a game?
I was like,
love?
I was like, it really doesn't matter to me. It's like, there's that's like The Last of Us scored really high. I said, I mean, people rave about it. I said, but there's people that think that The Order 1886 is a better game. I said, the review score didn't mean shit to that person. He's like, well, anybody that thinks the Order is better than Last of Us is retarded. I was like, no, that means they have a different opinion. That's all that matters. Like, it's just your own personal opinion and what you like. I don't give a shit what somebody else likes and what somebody else dislikes. It's just, it blows my mind that people hang.
Macintosh.
Yeah, they hang on these fucking reviews like they're like some kind of godsend.
Yeah, like it's a gospel, dude. It's like,
yeah.
Speaking
I was like,
of going full Macintosh, did you guys see Jonathan McIntosh's new tweet?
I don't pay attention to that fool, man. Like,
wait a minute, you saw a tweet, Pete? No, you can't look at Twitter and not have one.
Archive works on Twitter, yo.
Oh, so you're cheating, man.
Handheld game controllers with physical buttons are limiting and alienating to new
players.
It's technology from 40 years ago.
I saw Rags quote tweet that or whatever, or have a picture of it
with some people in the comments too. Actually, I think he replied to like 2 people or something. But fucking this guy.
See, Shadow, and I mean that's the thing, is that I thought Last of Us, the gameplay and everything was was spot on. It was like one of my most favorite series now. But I mean, like if somebody like you came along and said it has a good story but is really boring, or I think Rags even said he didn't really care for it. It was a pretty decent game. That shit doesn't bother me. Like, I could give a shit less what you think of the game. Like, as far as my feelings go, like, it doesn't affect my take on the game or my experience with the game. It just blows my mind how these people hang on to everything that these reviewers say.
Yeah, I mean, they're normal, they're average Joes like you. Fuck. Some of them are even worse, like the dude that couldn't do the Cuphead tutorial.
Yeah, like why would you? I mean, his review is in mixed in with that Metacritic. So if this guy gave Mario a 9 out of 10, how do you take that seriously?
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, and everyone that writes reviews for, well, I shouldn't say everyone. All mainstream sites that write reviews for Mario are gonna give it a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10 because it's Mario.
Yeah. That's one thing that like triggered them is that we think that Nintendo gets a pass for a lot of their games because of nostalgia. And I was like, dude, I can guarantee you right now that when The Last of Us 2 comes out, there's already going to be writers that are going to give that game a 9 out of 10 before they even think about playing that game.
Oh, for sure.
I was like, just because they have their biases towards it, like that, because of how great the first one was.
Or they know their audience is biased towards it, so
Yeah.
they don't want to, piss them off, or what, there's hundreds of different reasons.
But I mean, like when it comes to Nintendo, I mean, like they get a pass. I don't care if they do. It doesn't bother me. It's like I don't give a shit if all their games rank at 100.
Yeah, it's a different style of game, and there's nothing.
It doesn't do anything for me.
And it doesn't do anything to hurt you. I mean,
yeah,
Mooch, I don't know.
I
mean, I don't.
Shitty reviews on games, which all right, whatever. I can deal with that.
I obviously don't know who you are, Mooch, but
for real,
I mean, well, no, this isn't the right.
Oh.
This isn't the same Mooch, but friends, I don't know. I mean, I don't hate the guy. I just don't really talk to him.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
he kind of went off the deep end, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah, he went like me and him had a falling out, and we just kind of both went our ways, and we're done. I don't have any ill will towards him or anything like that. I mean, I just don't mess with him.
So, was there anything else you saw, Rambo, or did you get some interesting Twitter beef?
There was more that has happened. I'm trying to figure out because I had a lot of these fucking stupid ass people in my timeline for a while. Oh, somebody told me today that that PlayStation, if they wanted to, could actually release a software update to make the PlayStation 4 more powerful than the Xbox One X.
Really?
I was like, I was like, you do realize that, hardware don't. Yeah, it's like hardware doesn't work that way. It was like,
I mean, that's the thing. I don't know, what does the PS4 Pro have under the hood?
A 4.2 teraflop GPU, the same, what's it called? The same CPU as the regular PS4, just overclocked more.
Do you know what like architecture it uses, or how many cores at what speed?
No, I mean I don't get into all that, but I mean like I think it's pretty much topped out. But I mean,
yeah, I'd have to see the hardware,
well, he's like
the full hardware specs to be sure, but yeah, I mean, as far as I knew it, even though the One X is, I mean, it's using ancient ass hardware, I do believe it does technically have more than the PS4 Pro.
Well, I mean,
so even if you want to say, optimizations and
he was talking about like there could be a hidden GPU in there.
Now,
and I'm like,
no, Rambo. Because this came up with the PS3 as well. Okay, because the PS3, God, this is a while ago. What was it?
The PS3 was really powerful.
No, but that was part of the thing though. It had 12 compute units, and at any one time, like 4 of them would be used as a CPU, like 2 of them as a CPU, and then like 6 as a GPU or something like that. And there were 3 or 4, and you never knew which ones, but there were always 3 or 4 that wouldn't be activated. Those were backups. So it technically, like, if if Sony decided to unlock those, they could technically increase performance of the unit
in the
by.
in
Well,
the
but that's
PS3, but I
that's
mean
why I said I
the
don't know how
PS4, yeah,
I don't
the
know how the
PS4 is pretty
PS4 is
well.
set up.
The PS4 Pro is pretty well topped out.
Okay, I don't know for sure, so I can't say for sure.
Yeah,
but
the PS4 Pro is
assuming
pretty well
is,
topped out. So I mean,
and we know what the Xbox One X has. So,
but
like I
he's
said,
trying
I'm
to.
pretty
I mean,
sure
he
it
was
does
trying to
have-
think that it had, you know, that you could turn a 4.2 teraflop GPU into a 6, like higher than a 6. And I'm like, you can't do that, man. Like you have to swap out the hardware. Like it just doesn't. Like nobody's going to put a 6 teraflop GPU in there, and then cut it off at 4.2. Like
Yeah, it
there,
doesn't work
that would
that
make
way.
no sense on their part because no matter what, they still had to pay for the 6 teraflop GPU. And
Well, but I mean, it's weird on consoles because sometimes they will for heat reasons, because it's easier to build a beefy. It's cheaper. It's to cool like a 4 gigahertz CPU at 4 gigahertz is a lot harder than it is to cool a 6 gigahertz CPU at 4 gigahertz. So
right,
sometimes it
but
is
I mean,
more
but
economically efficient to overbuild the
okay, but PlayStation
by like 20%.
PlayStation didn't do
use a
that.
cheaper cooler. Oh, that's
I mean,
like I said. I don't know. Are you sure?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's been torn apart and everything's been gone through like from top end to top
With
down.
fine
And
tooth
yes,
comb, even. I mean,
yeah, Digital Foundry took the whole damn thing apart and looked at every individual part to it.
Okay.
But I was like, dude, I was like, you sound like fucking Iron Wolf in this whole Power of the Cloud and power more stronger than 4 Titans
Yeah.
bullshit.
Well,
He's
I
like,
mean, he is talking about things that exist. They just don't exist on the system.
right,
he's
but
talking
well,
about.
first of all, the Power of the Cloud, it was never
That
going.
was always a myth.
Yeah, but I mean, it was never going to make the Xbox One perform any better because I mean, technically it could have, because you know you could basically use the cloud for all your rendering aspects, and then just basically use your system for leftover, you know, activities. But the only problem is like they never implemented the cloud because not everybody has the
Internet.
internet to be able to run it.
Right.
So, and then the whole, you know, stronger than 4 Titans, that was never going to happen.
and then the 1080 Ti came out. And he's like, nope, stronger than 4 1080 Ti's.
Yeah, I mean, it was just he's like, but I don't think anybody takes Iron Wolf serious. I was like, yeah, but that should tell you something if you're sounding like him.
Yep.
I was like, I was like, why do y'all want this more powerful system? I was like, who gives a shit who has more power? I was like, the last time I checked this, whenever as a gamer, what mattered was games. I was like, I could understand people's concern if the PS4 Pro was like a PS2 graphics compared to like the Xbox One X. I can understand the power difference there, like going, wait, we need to get caught up. But the difference isn't that great. So
Yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
think the One X is all that much more powerful than the PS4 Pro.
it is. I mean, I think it's like 22% or 20 or 30% more powerful overall.
I can guarantee you that it's
Within a
not.
generation.
It's not going to be utilized. I guarantee.
Well,
it.
no, I mean, it'll be
And that's
utilized
the other
probably
thing,
by
it does
first
have to
party.
be utilized.
Yeah, by first
I
party.
mean,
Yeah, but the third
yeah.
party games, there won't be hardly a
That
difference.
they don't. It's true. They don't always.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Shadow of War thing, they did that comparison, and yeah, you can tell the difference, but it's not like a, oh my god, like, fuck, this is like night and day, you know, like it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, it's like, okay, I can see the lighting difference, and I can, you know, the ground looks a little bit better, but nothing enough to make somebody come off a $500 difference.
No, it's definitely
and
not a
so-
$500 difference.
I mean, I can understand that people were like, if the power difference was like, you know, like a whole generational leap.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I mean, like, shit, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted 4 are some of the best looking fucking games this generation. And that's on a base PS4. That's even looks better than the Shadow of War on the Xbox One X. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, power is power. But if you don't have the developers that
It's
know
what
how to
you
take
do with
advantage of it,
Yeah.
then it really doesn't matter. It's like having a grandma, like one of the grandmas that drive 20 miles an hour, be like driving in a fucking Lamborghini.
Actually,
Like,
there's one in my apartment complex that drives her little red Corvette. It's
it
fucking fast, and she goes 20.
Yeah, so I mean, no matter how much power she has, I mean, she's still gonna get beat by a Toyota.
Uh-huh. My Honda van with a bum transmission goes faster than she does.
But I mean, like Xbox's first party will obviously take full advantage of it, but Xbox's first party is like 4 studios, and that's 4 games, and so I mean, I don't. I mean, it's really not gonna. I mean, as far as like the big grandiose difference, that's where it's going to come from as your first party, and they don't have enough first party studios to really make it a wow factor.
Neverland.
Later Neverland. But I mean, like if you were, we're just gonna say like the roles were reversed. If PlayStation had the power advantage, like this much of a power advantage, their first party studios, they have so many of them that the amount of games that they can produce in that would be like, okay, shit, there's like 17, 20 games over there that look better than what the 5 over here. I still wouldn't, like, if I was an Xbox guy, I still wouldn't pay $500 for Sony's first party studios to, for an extra $500 just for that. Oh, and did you know that Halo is coming to PC?
Serious?
Halo?
From what somebody said, I mean, obviously I haven't looked into it, but we're just going to go off of what somebody said, is that when they saw the update for the Xbox One X update for Master Chief Collection,
mm-hmm.
that in there it says there will also be a Play Anywhere title.
Oh, shit.
So if the Master Chief Collection is coming, then Halo 5 is coming.
Dude, I would double dip in the Master Chief Collection if it came to PC.
Well, you should own it anyway, because if it becomes a Play Anywhere, if you already own it, it should automatically just pop up.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome.
But the thing is, though, is that if that's the case, the only thing they have left is Sunset Overdrive on the Xbox One.
Sunset Overdrive 2 could still happen, too. I saw that on the IGN Daily Fix.
Yeah, I tweeted PlayStation and asked them to make it. It fit their audience more than it would Xbox's audience.
Speaking of IGN, you guys have all watched the Daily Fix at least once. Naomi Kyle she's done her last show. She's moving.
Where is she going?
She's going to Los Angeles to pursue her, I guess, acting career or something like that. So
that's brave.
Well, I mean,
especially her age, though.
I mean, everybody's admitting now that the casting couch is the routine thing, right? I mean, why would anybody want to go dive into that?
Well, now that it's out in the open, I mean, imagine it's a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to get away with it now.
I mean, but she's been with IGN for 6.5 years, though. I mean. Well,
JC's are like. Technically, I mean, if it does go to the Play Anywhere, then yeah, you'll be able to. I mean, the way that they say Play Anywhere works is if you own it, then it would go there. But I mean, who knows if Microsoft's going to do some way of.
You'd have to use the Windows Store, right?
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I mean, I don't own it, so I don't care, and I'm never going to buy it. But yeah.
I played Gears 4 on from the Windows Store. It's not bad. I think it's okay when it's a Microsoft game, minus Quantum Break. I know, Rambo. I know.
It's another one of those things, dude. That's the hill, right? Because I hate Windows, but I'm willing to work with it because it's the best for gaming. Otherwise, I'd be on Linux or something. But I don't want to give Microsoft more than I have to, so I kind of refuse to boot up the Windows Store.
Well, Ogre and I mean, I know you say that they have exclusives, but I mean, it depends on what you define as exclusives, because if you define exclusive as like what the actual term exclusive is that it's only on that platform, then they only have like 3 or 4 total this whole generation.
Yeah, now it
Um,
just kind of means console exclusive,
if
which,
you're talking
all
about
right,
console
fine.
exclusive, then they actually have more, yeah. Because then,
I mean, it is true the PC isn't a weird category because there's a
yeah,
lot of people who are console only gamers and
yeah.
they
So to
might
them,
own
like,
PS, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or 2 out of the 3 or whatever, but they'll never play on PC. So in essence, it is exclusive to one of those three because, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing.
Halo, quit with the whole no exclusive nonsense. It is not nonsense. Jesus, I don't know. Like, you're just like an apologist or something. That console, I swear, this year you've had Halo Wars 2, Voodoo Vince. If you even want to talk about Phantom Dust, I don't even know why anybody would.
Fuck that. I love Xbox, but fuck Phantom Dust.
Yeah, I mean, Phantom Dust was not. I don't even think that's anything that anybody wants to hang their hat on.
Nope.
Cuphead, Forza 7, Super Lucky's Tale. Not really a stellar year when it comes to. I think PlayStation had more than that in January. I mean, that's the problem. Is like, sure, if PlayStation didn't exist, I mean, there'd be really no complaints. But whenever you have something to compare it to, exclusive wise, but when you're getting like maybe 4 to 6 a year, and the other console is getting 50 to 60 a year, there's a big disparity.
You need to word it a little different, guys. It's not so much Xbox exclusives; they're Microsoft OS exclusives. I mean,
oh Lord, we're getting down to where now we're claiming the OS now.
Well, they're Microsoft exclusives. I'm sure
Yeah.
you can agree with that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I like the way I've always looked at exclusives is that there's console exclusives, meaning that it's on my console and like PC. There is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, only available on PlayStation 4, and then there's PlayStation exclusives that are on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Vita, meaning that it's on multiple PlayStations, but yet it's only on a PlayStation product. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely just say it's a Microsoft exclusive, but I don't. I'm personally me. I don't look at whenever I say I don't say that like they have no exclusives. They just barely have any. And I don't look at it as like, well, if it's on the Windows Store, then it's not considered exclusive, because I look at it as a console standpoint. And if you're a console gamer, you're not really giving a shit what's on Windows 10 Store. Like, Windows 10 Store is completely out of your mind. And so whenever I say, I mean, to me, Cuphead is an exclusive, even though it's on Steam and the Windows Store.
Yeah.
To me, it is. Because I can't get it on...
Cuphead, you can get it on Steam, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Halo, I mean, okay, look, if you're going to count KOTOR as a fucking exclusive from, like, the original Xbox days, then you got some fucking desperate... You're desperate.
Come on,
I mean,
Halo.
yeah, we're not talking about way back when.
Black Ops 2. No, Halo. Come on, bro. Black Ops 2 is not an
Halo,
exclusive.
that's 5 games, right? Halo 1 through 5 plus Reach and
you gotta be like trolling
ODST,
retardedly or something.
Come on.
Yeah, he's got to be trolling, because like there's no way that you really honestly think that you would count KOTOR, or especially Black Ops 2. Backwards compatible games don't count in the exclusive talk.
Yeah. Unless they,
if you want to play that game, my Vita has access to more exclusives than any of your fucking consoles, because I've got almost the full library of PS1 and PSP original titles.
You're pushing
and
it.
None of them
when
fuckers
when
have
you
come
count
on
the
anything.
remasters as exclusives. You're pushing it there. I mean,
yeah. See, I count remasters as exclusive simply because they like it. To me, the remaster is something you can't get on the previous console because it's been upgraded to some degree. Now, if it's a port like Phantom Dust, yeah, I don't count that again because just a port, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's actually a remaster, like say Voodoo Vince was, I count that as an exclusive for the year because of the fact that if I go play the same Voodoo Vince back in the Xbox, the original Xbox days or whatever I think it was, is that I'm not going to have the same type of experience as I am with the remaster because it's going to look better and be more up to date.
Yeah, more fluid.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't also then count the original as well.
No, I wouldn't count the
Yeah.
original. No.
It
No.
supersedes the original if it's, you know.
Things
good
like
enough.
Voodoo Vince is almost a whole new game, almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would
Especially
count
if it adds content or levels or, you know, whatever.
I call like The Last of Us Remastered an exclusive because it's got the on the PS3 you had to pay extra for the DLC for it. It wasn't in 1080p 60 frames per second. It wasn't in, you know, the 4K or whatever it is, and on the PS4 it is. So to me, it's a different. I mean, it's not. I mean, obviously the same title, but it's a different game that you can't get the same experience by buying The Last of Us on PS3. But I sure as fuck don't count the PS2 games, you know, carried over to PS4 as exclusive.
Yeah, no.
And I sure like y'all count them as like y'all's total Xbox library, Xbox One library, and that's even wrong too because like they were already counted in an Xbox library. They can't be counted in the Xbox One library as well too.
So you don't count backwards compatible games as a part of your library?
No, like if somebody says like how many games does the Xbox One have?
Oh, like
Well,
that.
then-
Oh, all right.
You're only counting the Xbox One games. You're not counting all the 360 and original Xbox games that you can play on the Xbox One.
Right.
You only count the ones that are actually made for the Xbox One. And hell, even Microsoft doesn't consider them the same because you go to a completely different store area to buy the 360 games and the original Xbox game.
Yeah, and I personally hate that store area. I mean, you can't
too,
see
'cause
the price unless you click on the shit.
And you can't buy them from your phone, like from the app on your phone.
Oh, I've never
You
bought a
have-
game on my phone. No.
You have to go to the website if you're buying something to be able to click to be able to buy it. But even the website, the store on the website is still the 360 store on the website. When you buy an Xbox One game, it looks completely different on the website.
Well, so what have you
Well,
guys been playing lately?
Warframe.
Wolfenstein 2.
You still playing Warframe, Pete?
Yep.
They still fuck you
They
on
haven't.
Overwatch?
They haven't fixed Overwatch yet, and they just came out
Bro.
with another new patch today too, and it's still on the known issues list.
Have you tried
Fucking
Overwatch?
AMD. What?
Have you tried Overwatch?
Not with the latest patch. I haven't even loaded up the latest drivers yet. I have the ones that came out 2 days ago. So I was gonna try it with these. I don't think it's fixed though, and then I was gonna do the latest ones and try it with those. But yeah, I don't know. If I was into competitive, I'd probably be pissed. But since I'm not, and since dude, this shit is getting toxic, and not like these fucking idiots that on the PC Gamer comments board think. You know, that's because now just Blizzard's gonna feel pressure from this sort of shit, and they're gonna start implementing harsher. And it's gonna go just like League of Legends, because it's always the people who are the most toxic are the ones who abuse the report features, and it's just gonna get horrible. So, so I don't even really care about that, and I haven't bought the new Wolfenstein yet.
Are you going to?
I might.
It's a good one.
It was supposed to be coming with my graphics card, but since I didn't actually buy the original thing, you know, it didn't come with it.
Oh, that's right. You got it on eBay, huh?
Yeah, no, yeah, eBay. Yeah, I don't know. I might, because I don't even know if it'll work yet. So, we'll see.
What do you mean you don't even
I
know
wonder if it'll
work
go
yet?
on sale. That's the thing. If it goes on sale at Christmas, then I might just wait for that, because it's only what, 2 months? Well, not even that before the sales come.
Yeah, I mean,
There'll be a Black Friday sale and a Thanksgiving sale, so I might just wait till then and see if I can save 20 bucks on it. Because I don't think I'll be playing its multiplayer. I mean, I'll be buying it just for the single player.
so you gonna platinum Wolfenstein 2, Rambo?
Man, I'm gonna try. They upped the what's it called? They upped the difficulty in getting the platinums
And for
because
all of them?
before
For wait, yeah,
no
which
for
games?
for Wolfenstein 2.
Mm.
Like they
Compared to the
Bef-
older one?
yeah, I mean because the
Wow.
older one like you had to play it on the hardest difficulty, and then Wolfenstein the new order you did, and then you would get to, of course you can do all the collecting crap or whatever, but as far as like beating the game, you just had to beat on the hardest difficulty. The Old Blood, you had to beat it on the hardest difficulty, and then you had to do the challenge maps on either the second to the hardest difficulty or the hardest difficulty and get gold. Now, on this one, you have to play the game, beat it, and then it unlocks the hardest difficulty, Mein Leben. And to get the platinum, you have to beat the game on Mein Leben difficulty. But part of the difficulty is that you only got one life and no saves and no checkpoints.
Oh no, really?
Yep.
Wait, just between missions though, right?
No.
I mean, technically.
Through the entire game?
No,
Yep.
come on, you can save it like at the
There's-
home base or whatever or something, right?
There's no manual saves at all.
So what? You can't turn your console off?
I have no earthly idea. Like,
Come
I
on,
just
there's gotta be a thing
There
where
might
if
be
you
a-
quit the
there-
game,
there
it
might be
saves
an-
your
there might be an auto save.
yeah, like
um,
in between missions or something. There's just no checkpoints or saves in the missions, which okay, you know.
And you can't manually, like right now, like I can manually save somewhere and like redo that part. But if you die, like you can't load up a previous save and start there. You got to start all the way back from the beginning.
Wow. To get the platinum?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
So I mean I might
That's like
this one,
ultra hardcore mode. I think that's a little difficult just for a platinum trophy.
yeah, this one might sit at 99% for me. Because I mean I love Wolfenstein, but I just don't know how much of a fucking heart attack I really
yeah,
want.
you'd have to play that for a month to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't even sound like a fun. It would take the fun out of platinum hunting to me. So I'm hoping that before I get to that point, like they realize that
Yeah,
maybe
they
that
change
might
it.
be a little bit rough and they change it because there's been a few games where they had that type of platinum, and then like the feedback came back and they took it out. So there was some people that got the platinum whenever it was really hard, but then they came back and like Uncharted. The Uncharted 4 used to be like really super hard because on the hardest difficulty there was no manual saves, and the checkpoints there was no checkpoints. So you had to finish the whole chapter, and that was your checkpoint. Like there was no checkpoints within the chapter, and
Damn.
so they listened to the feedback, and then all of a sudden you started getting checkpoints within the chapter as well. So and there's a good chance that that's going to change because that seems a little bit rough to have to play that game without dying and no manual saves, like to where you can't reload a save and be good.
That does seem like really ludicrous.
Yeah,
too.
I think something more like you have to play it on the hardest difficulty. You have to get every collectible, and there are no save points or checkpoints except for in between the mission. So you have to
but
be
if
able
you-
to get through each level without dying.
Yeah,
But,
but then if you die,
know,
then like in the
but
next
only-
level, then you can reload the last level. Or I mean, to me, like they're going to have to do that because if you're like
Yeah,
if you get all the way to the
so
end of the
this-
game
this one's
and
just you have to get through each level without dying, but you get unlimited tries, but you
Yeah,
have to do it
'cause-
on the hardest difficulty level setting. That seems hard
Because-
enough for me.
yeah, that would definitely be satisfactory because I mean, if I can only imagine getting to the very end of the game and actually dying at that point, and having
I mean, I guess
to
it
play.
depends on how difficult it really is. Because
It's
if the
hard.
hardest difficulty,
I'll be
yeah, I
right back,
mean,
guys.
I've already died. Like I've already died on mine, and I'm playing like on the middle difficulty. And I've already died like
I'm
maybe.
sure there'll be a speed run up by somebody pretty soon that'll like lay out, you know, the easiest ways that you can get, you know, the quickest and easiest ways to, with the
Well,
least
that's
amount of enemies to get
well,
through the levels.
one of the problems is like with Wolfenstein is that when you encounter enemies, there's no exit until you beat all the enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's not like in Uncharted when like if you can sneak past them, you could go all the way past them, and
Really?
you actually have
So
to beat
there's
every enemy in the area.
so there's no stealth portions where you're actually able to skip
No,
the rooms of enemies or
no,
whatever. Wow,
the only stealth
that's too bad,
you
'cause
could
you could do that in the last one.
the only stealth that you could do is stealth and just kill everybody in all the enemies in stealth, but you can't stealth past the enemy.
Yeah, I guess it is a Wolfenstein game.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna. I think they'll eventually change it because
Yeah, it sounds like it. That's
I mean
a little
that
difficult.
yeah. But in 10 days, I think is when the first DLC drops.
Jeez.
Okay.
Oh, so I'd have to. So it's not only the game. I got to get the season pass too. Fucking lovely.
Well, it's story season pass. I mean, the game gives you a full complete story. The season pass just adds more to it. So
but, you know, it's
I mean, if
Wolfenstein. I'll want to play it.
yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to play everything, then yeah, you'll have to. But
yeah.
So it was Nevada Day today. It's the day Nevada celebrates becoming a state.
Rambo.
And
huh?
Fuck were you doing?
It was what?
You're crackling.
I don't know. I don't hear anything on my end. I haven't been doing anything different
It
than.
sounded like you were opening a plastic package with your mouth or something.
No, I'm just sitting here.
Huh.
I don't know.
Do you hear it, Shane?
I did for a second.
Got pretty loud there.
I don't know. I didn't do anything. My hands are in my pocket, and I'm out in the garage, and I'm freezing. So
Freezing?
it's like 29 degrees here.
What?
Get a blanket or something.
Nah.
Builds character.
Yeah, I don't. The only time I ever like a blanket is if I'm laying down to go to bed.
Yeah, me too. I'm exactly that way too.
I like the real thin fleece blankets that you can buy from a Walmart for like $8 or something.
I cannot do those at all.
Because you can use it just like a throw, you know, you just like over your shoulders and it goes down your legs and leaves your arms free. So I can, you know, sit on the couch and play my video games and just have it covering my torso and my legs. But
Well, I mean, Cyrus, that's cool that you like backwards compatible. I mean, I'm not saying that's a pointless feature. It's just a feature I just don't give a shit about. Now, if like the PS5 comes out in 2019, I'll probably care about backwards compatibility because there's no possible way I'm making it through all my games by 2019.
So you guys got any Halloween plans?
giving out candy to kids. I might dress up.
Just taking my granddaughter trick or treating.
Oh, it ought to be good, man. Our first Halloween, the first ones are always great.
We gotta get Rambo playing like Fear 2 with the lights off and the surround sound cranked up on live stream.
It'd have to probably be like I'd rather play like a Resident Evil 7 in VR because I've never even seen anything of Resident Evil 7, so I don't know where the jump scares are. And of course, VR makes it even more jump scary. But I haven't played that yet at all, so I'd probably play that one.
You haven't played
That would
Resident
work,
Evil
I guess.
7?
I don't know.
No.
I think Fear would work better though.
I own it
You're a lot
on.
like me when it comes to horror stuff, and I haven't played Resident Evil 7 either, so I don't know how well that one is, but I know like Fear 2 and Fear 3 are really good with that. But I think Fear 2 is the better one.
I own it, and I own all the DLC. I've just never have played it. Every time I go to play it, like a new game, like Wolfenstein comes out or something, I'm like, okay, I got to play Wolfenstein. And then, of course, now Assassin's Creed Origins is out, so I can't go back and play it until I beat Assassin's Creed Origins. And then I still got to go back and platinum Evil Within 2. I got GT Sport. I just, my plate's fucking full.
Yeah, I hear that.
I kind of want to do a late night live stream on Halloween, like after, you know, the trick or treating and stuff is over with.
I'm down. It's like Tuesday, right? Yeah.
I thought Halloween was Monday. No.
31st Tuesday.
So yeah, I mean,
So
probably
Tuesday
stream
night.
probably stream the
down.
game to the Game Talk podcast and channel, and yeah, just kind of kick it with whoever wants to come in. But I don't know what game to stream. Like, you know, I don't really have. Well, at least I don't
I
consider.
could do Fear 2 or 3 or 1 or what else do I have that's Halloweeny?
Yeah, Marimba, you dropping out again?
Yeah, my phone is going like, you know, black screen from sitting so long.
Oh.
And then so when I push it, since it's a fucking iPhone, if you accidentally press it too hard, then you get the fucking Siri thing popping up. And I guess that Siri thing popping up knocks out every communication, so it still shows I'm connected with you.
Is there no option to like keep the screen awake while you're running it or something?
There might be. I just haven't really ever looked at it because, I mean, most generally, other than this, I don't mind it going black.
I could stream the newest Aliens vs Predator.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Halloweeny.
Well, I know that what's it called? Evil Within actually got me on a few times because I wasn't expecting. Like they didn't set up a jump scare at all, and it just like happened. So there was a couple of times during there that I was like, "Whoa, shit!"
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess old, but Left 4 Dead 2 is always an option.
Okay, Left 4 Dead. I'm glad you brought that up. Why do Xbox guys seem to think that Left 4 Dead is some sort of Xbox game?
It was on the 360, but
well, I know, but
yeah,
I mean,
because I mean, it wasn't on Sony, so.
Left
well, I mean,
4 Dead is a
I see.
Valve game. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in.
Yeah, it wasn't on any of the PlayStation or anything, and it was on Xbox, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I see people like on Facebook groups saying Microsoft needs to make a Left 4 Dead 3, and I'm like, they can't. And the person who owns it,
Go talk
he
to
doesn't know how to count. Like he doesn't know how to count to 3. So
I know, right?
Oh, he became, or not became, well, kind of. Forbes added him to like the most richest list or whatever they do.
Mhm.
So, and he hasn't been on there, surprisingly. I mean, I
He's
figured
wealthy.
He would be. Yeah, fuck yeah, he is.
I mean, I can definitely see if Microsoft can cultivate the same type of atmosphere that Steam has on a console level. I mean, they stand up raking a ton of money. The only thing is though is that Valve, like, they really don't have to cater worldwide because like it's just Valve. I mean, it's just a service, but they've never fucked over anybody worldwide. You know what I mean? Like they've never just left out a certain region and said fuck you to them, and then all of a sudden like, oh hey, here you go, here's our platform. So I mean, it's kind of like just always been a widely accepted platform. Microsoft though is never going to be a worldwide company, or Xbox isn't. Like it's released worldwide, but it's never going to be accepted worldwide because like Japan is never going to take Xbox seriously, and neither are a lot of those countries over there. I mean, they just look at Xbox like, yeah, no, you fucked me over too many times.
Oh, this just happened. Okay, so Kohl's, which you guys, I mean, none of us gamers normally would care about a store like this. but their Black Friday ad has leaked, and
Oh yeah,
oh, you know about that?
yeah. I've seen the.
Yeah. So the Amazon
what is
Echo
this?
Kohl's, the store Kohl's, their Black
Okay.
Friday ad has leaked. They got an Amazon Echo Dot for $30, not bad. Google Home for $80. It's normally $130.
Yeah, if you want the CIA in your house.
Oh, well, I'm not done. A 4K TV. It doesn't list too many details about it yet. For $300. A PlayStation 4 for $200. An Xbox One S for $190. So,
Yep.
not too shabby.
No, not too bad. I mean, I still say that this holiday will belong to PlayStation and Nintendo.
Well, I said this about this time last year. A lot of people that want to get into gaming, or they're still on last generation because this one's too expensive or whatnot. No, it's not. There is no freaking reason with deals like this to not own a current generation console if that's your thing. You
Well,
know?
yeah, sure. As of, Christmas
Well,
or
I mean,
Black Friday or whatever.
even without the sale, I mean, the Xbox One is normally only what, $280. I can remember when 360s were more than that. I mean,
But it depends on like who's holding back. I mean, there's some adults that like game, but they game off the free games per month, or they and they maybe can afford a game a year, and so if you're only being able to afford a $60 game, one $60 game a year, that's a lot of games you gotta that's a lot of years you gotta just not game so you can
Oh.
afford a
yeah.
a next gen game, a next gen
that's
console.
that's a hefty investment.
But I mean, for the most part, for the average working adult, yeah, I mean, there's
Sure, yeah, not a big deal.
yeah.
Yeah, I just that's a hell of a deal on Kohl's. I might end up picking up something like not an S definitely, but I don't know. The Amazon Dot is
Man.
pretty cool. I think.
I won't mess with the Amazon Dot or the Google Home thing, but
Why?
the
Yeah, I don't want the CIA in my house.
the Google one screwed up and was recording every damn conversation in the house, and actually we're sending that back to Google.
Oh, that's a feature, bruh.
No, that's not a feature. It was actually not. It was actually a malfunction, and Google sent out a software update that supposedly fixed it. But who knows if it actually truly?
Wait, it did it to you?
No.
Oh.
Like Philly D did a story on it on one of his videos that like it recorded.
There are no cameras in my house, JC.
It stayed in the on position, or in the record position, and it was like picking up like every bit of your conversation. So usually, like it only would record the your command to it. But this one, everybody's Google Homes were recording every just your regular conversation, and then saving it and sending it to Google. So that way they could get plenty of information on you. So if you were talking about your credit card number, you were talking about your bank account number, whatever, it was recording it and sending it. Yeah. And I mean, who's to say that, like, that isn't just one more way of like the CIA getting a backdoor into your house, or the FBI?
Yeah, I can see that.
It'd be cool to have one. But have one that I built with my own firewalls and shit like that, but not something that's mass produced where, because the CIA and the FBI, with every phone and every electronic like that gets sent, they get the code to it, and they get to see if they can crack it and everything like that, and then report their weaknesses back to Amazon and all the other places. But even with the phones, they found cracks, like a backdoor into Apple and a backdoor into what's it called, Android, or the Samsung, and didn't tell Samsung and Apple, and then that ended up leaking and getting out, and somebody ended up getting it, hackers ended up getting a hold of it, and so it's just that's just too much for me, because not that I say anything that would ever get me arrested or anything like that, but I just don't like the idea of somebody, you know, having the ability to listen into what I'm saying.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know if anyone follows the World Series in here, but the Astros won tonight's game. So,
Well, good. I like to see. I don't really follow baseball, but I mean,
fuck the
out of
Dodgers.
the two teams, I like to see the Astros win it. They're closer to me.
Oh. I just don't like the Dodgers. I mean, shit. Pete's from Northern California. He knows up there the Dodgers are fucking Satan. So.
Wait, what?
In Northern California, the Dodgers are hated.
Why?
You've never.
Do we have to really spell this shit out to you?
They're Southern California. Most Northern California people are Giants or A's fans.
Sure, but I don't know. I've just never. One, I don't like baseball, so I don't know many people who like baseball. And two, the only person I know that does like baseball likes the Dodgers.
Oh, fuck that shit.
So I don't really know anybody that hates the Dodgers.
So you need to get more friends.
Did
Probably.
anyone get AC Origins?
Yes, I bought it and it's sitting there.
You haven't played it yet?
No, because I'm writing a review on Wolfenstein 2 and I have to get through that game, so that way I can get the review out quickly.
AC Origins looks freaking nice.
It looks fucking amazing.
There's a couple sales on Steam I was paying attention to. I think all the Stalker games are on sale for like, 2 of them are $2.50 and one of them's like $5.
Oh, that's right. They have that Halloween sale going on, huh?
So yeah, but I don't know if it's all of it or not. But there were a bunch of games on sale from my wish list, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if there's one that's like super cheap. I might pick it up. I mean, Steam that's like their best freaking asset is their sales. So
Yes, it is.
The Evil Within,
it's
$10, not bad.
Hey, Jay Caesar,
Evil Within 2, I think, is on sale as well.
Before you buy Elix, I know we just had a big long thing about reviews, but look up some information about it, because from what I understand, like the console version of Elix really suffered a lot compared to the PC version. So I would definitely check into that. I mean, everybody's talking about how there like I've seen some people talking about it, and like there were some problems with it, and some people are enjoying it, but for the most part, it seems like the console's got the short end of the stick with that game. And I'm not sure what the short end is, like if it's just
with what game?
Looks wise or whatever, but I would definitely check into it before you just go out and buy it.
With what game?
A game called Elix. It's a new game. I don't know what it's even about. I just saw it in the store. I don't know shit about it.
Huh. Yeah, I've never even heard of that game.
It's a new IP from somebody, but I again couldn't tell you shit about it. It doesn't look good to me, but from what I seen in the store. No, Cyrus, that was a different thing. Like the thing that leaked from the CIA was actually a way to hack into people's phones, like through the OS and stuff. Like they had a back door into the OSs of Samsung and Apple, and they were supposed to tell Samsung and Apple so that way they could get it closed, but they wanted to be able to use it, so they kept it open and didn't tell them, and then ended up somehow the CIA or FBI got hacked, and that was stolen.
Yeah, I'm surprised Rambo hasn't brought up the PlayStation event where they're going to announce 7 new games.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, where did the 7 new games come from? Because I had not seen. I've seen people talking about it, but I've not seen PlayStation say that they were going to say 7 new games.
Yeah, IGN did something 7 hours ago, saying that it's confirmed or whatever. So I don't.
Well, I said that the PlayStation experience, the PlayStation Paris Game Show is like the only thing that really matters in gaming right now. Because on October 30th, I'm going to be right in front of the damn computer watching that shit.
Well, 7 new games. I mean, what would your guys' best guess be on what these games are?
Well, I've got I'm on the PlayStation mailing list for their email shed, and I get the new this week for the PlayStation Store, and I see Persona 5 Ultimate Edition, Assassin's Creed Origins Gold Edition.
No, we're talking about the PlayStation game show for Paris.
That's on Monday.
Well, I mean, what are they counting?
They're not counting anything on the store now. This is like an E3 for Paris.
So like Wolfenstein 2, all of it.
No.
Like everything up to now, that's all off the.
Yeah,
this is
off like
the table.
These are all new games.
Yep.
Yes.
Either sequels or new or prequels or new IPs. They're brand new. No one knows about them yet.
Yeah. Well, one of them is going to be I would think it's going to be the Sucker Punch game. The Infamous devs.
Yep.
They haven't done anything since First Light, and they've been rumored to be working on a game. So, and they still have yet to show anything.
That's a really good team. I love the.
Oh man, they do a damn good job.
This was a good game.
I mean,
I'm not even a big fan of third-person action games, but you know,
I would love to see.
I like the way it was built.
I would love to see somebody like remaster the first 2 Infamouses and bring those over, like the Blue Point or whatever, you know, the Uncharted collection.
Yep.
I like to see them do the Infamous collection, and then the God of War collection, so that way I could have all my favorite, like most of my favorite IPs all on one system.
Speaking of which,
but yeah,
games, yeah.
I don't know anything after that. I mean, my guess is maybe From Software making a Bloodborne 2, maybe.
Oh shit! Yeah. It's been a while since one of those Dark Soulish games have come out. I mean.
Yeah.
Are they gonna really go 4 though, or are they gonna go something new?
Go 4.
Like Dark Souls 4.
No, I said Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, that's made by the same people, right?
Yeah, From Software.
Yeah, I mean So I mean, or were they considering a Dark Souls 4?
No, Dark Souls is done.
Okay, so that's
really
for sure finished.
Yeah.
Not or even like a prequel?
No, Dark Souls is done. They said they were done with the Dark Souls world.
Shit.
Or Dark Souls game.
Or maybe a new IP?
Could be. Could be.
Any rumors or anything about a?
There hasn't been any rumors at all about what it could be. I mean, that's the thing is like the only thing that we know that's in the works that has never been announced or talked about is Sucker Punch's game.
Well, see, here's what throws me off. I could make some better guesses if I knew for sure if it was only first party that they were talking about, or if like they got the exclusive marketing rights to something, if they could include that in those 7 games.
Well, it wouldn't be like they wouldn't include that in the 7 games like if exclusive marketing rights. Now, if they got like say, you know how like they did Street Fighter V where they got the full exclusivity console wise, they could include that. So I mean, there could be some third party exclusives in there, or second party, I guess, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it'd be a lot easier to narrow down like if it's all first party games, because then you'd be able to know which studios are busy making that we know of games already making.
Because Rocksteady is super busy. They've been like saying like, I know we're not talking now, but when we do, fans are gonna lose their mind. So I don't know.
You don't think? I mean, you don't. Do you think that PlayStation could get Rocksteady to make an exclusive for them? That would be huge.
It would be. I mean, and a lot of people are thinking it's either Batman Beyond or what's the other? Batman with not Bruce Wayne but Thomas Wayne as Batman. So,
could you imagine one of the Batman series, like the next game coming out exclusive to PlayStation? How pissed off the world would be.
I would actually be with the people that are mad.
You have a PlayStation though. Like, why would you be pissed?
Actually, you know what? My son just got in a lot of trouble, so I do have a PlayStation at my disposal.
So see, I mean, you'd be good.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I like to play as many games as I can on, like one platform. But I don't.
There's so many people that's pissed off with the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, I'm not exactly happy about it, but I mean, Sony I think will do a better job at it if it's an exclusive. I mean,
Yeah, then a multiplat. Yeah,
yeah, because the Spider-Man, the last two that came out,
they've been terrible.
Yeah, I mean, they're better than some of the other Spider-Man games,
Yeah.
but still, they're not what they should be.
It is very hard to make a Spider-Man game, in all fairness.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
especially when you're
been hard to
Activision.
do. Yeah, they've been hard to do from the beginning, though.
There's no
'Cause,
perks or
swinging
kill
around the
streaks.
city and
Yeah, they don't know what to do. I mean, PlayStation got the rights to that game fair and square. I mean, they use their bargaining power with Marvel to their benefit. So
They also made the movie though. I mean, they have the rights to the movie, right?
yeah, they own the rights to the movie and the rights to the game.
See, that's good.
The only-
They could do a lot with
the-
that.
The
don't
only
they own the
thing
rights to
that
the character itself, because
yeah,
Spider-Man's
Parker.
not in Marvel anymore either, right?
he's in
The-
he's in Marvel.
Marvel
because-
versus Capcom.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in Marvel versus Capcom, but like
I think he's one of the characters that got left out because the character is owned by the studio.
the way the deal went is that PlayStation got exclusive rights to Peter Parker's story, and kept the movie deal rights, but that they allowed Marvel to use Spider-Man in 2 movies, or 2 or 3 movies or whatever, and then after that they had to renegotiate the deal. But PlayStation walked away gaining the game rights, and kept the movie rights. And Marvel, the only thing they got basically is just to be able to write to control the story for him for a couple of movies.
Well, I would really like
And
to
the comic
see them.
book.
And
They
the
still
comic
have
book.
They still have the comic book.
Well, yeah, but I mean nobody
Sony
talks
or
about comic
Marvel?
books.
Marvel.
Marvel. Nobody
Yeah,
talks
yeah.
about this comic book.
Oh,
Man.
But I
it's
don't think.
Rambo,
Well, that's the thing. I
come
don't think they
on.
sold the rights to the comic book. That's the only piece.
No. No,
of
because they still
Spider-Man
own.
that Marvel still owns.
Yeah, they own them. They own the Spider. They own the comic book. But as far as media go, like visual media, it's Sony owns it.
Yeah. Which is kind of a shame.
Well, that's because Marvel. They didn't.
Although then
They're
again, Marvel has not been the greatest lately either. So maybe it's
No,
for the
they're-
best Spider-Man is
the
on
mo-
PlayStation.
the movie that they did for Spider-Man back in the day screwed up. Like didn't do well, and they were like, "Fuck it, let's sell them." And
I
Sold
like
them.
those. That was the original 3, right?
no, that those original 3 that came out were Sony, but we're
Were
talking
they
like
Sony?
yeah, we're
With
talking like way
Tobey
before.
Maguire.
Yeah. We're talking about way before then. Like they put out something and it bombed, and they didn't like it. They were like, "Nope, it's a risk, so we're gonna sell it to somebody else and let them handle it."
Maybe it's for the best because I love those original 3 Spider-Man movies with Maguire.
They were good movies, but again, people.
It was
are
more of a love
butthurt.
story than
Yeah.
it was a Spider-Man movie to me.
It was good storytelling though, and like
It was.
He was the perfect Peter Parker, and Mary
I don't know
Jane,
that-
I don't know. She wasn't the greatest, but she worked.
The new one's really good.
I really didn't like the one in the middle.
Homecoming?
No,
No,
Homecoming.
I didn't
Homecoming
see
is really
I'm
good.
I was so pissed off at the first one of the pair with what's his ass, the young kid,
Andrew
spiky
Garfield.
hair, something like that. Yeah, I did not like that first one of his.
What, the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah,
That's Andrew Garfield, and I thought he did a better job than Tobey Maguire, to be honest.
I did not like that movie.
I didn't like him at all. But I do like the Homecoming movie. Like it was a really to me one of the best Spider-Man.
And oh my
movies.
God, who played J. Jonah Jameson in those first 3?
I don't know.
Oh fuck,
I couldn't remember.
can't remember his name.
But No, I can see how some people think it's a shame that Sony has the rights to the movie and the game, but really, I think they'll do it justice, and they really have a chance to capitalize, owning the rights to the movie and the game at the same time. You know, they...
J.K. Simmons. Dude, he was the best J. Jonah Jameson ever.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
reason why people are pissed off is they was like you've taken a game that was always a multiplat and made it an exclusive.
Oh
Well,
fucking no
The
one
memes
bought
blame
it as
this
a
guy
multiplat.
alone.
The only thing you can do is blame Marvel for that. Marvel's the one that said yes to the deal.
Right? I mean, it's always the evil like buyer's fault. Like Sony bought it, it's them. If Microsoft bought it, it would have been them.
Why
I
the
mean-
fuck am I fired?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know why you're fired, but I'll go with it.
what? Who's fired?
Oh, okay, never mind. He's that's meta there, J. Caesar. He's doing J. Jonah Jameson with Pete, but that's also my name.
Ah,
Okay.
Good one, sir.
High five,
So-
Ming.
So by the way, you guys, the fuckers that still don't believe me, Saudi Arabia's newest citizen is a robot, and she just had a go at Elon Musk. Last year,
Yeah.
this robot said she would destroy humans.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, and she actually
And
during
they're,
this
they're making 1,000 of them. They already
Yeah,
sold out.
during this press conference that the robot held, they were asking it questions, and they said something like, "Do you want to kill us?" Or she's like, "No, you be nice to me, and I'll be nice to you." But she never elaborated like what happens if we're mean to her,
Yeah, she also said,
and
was it?
what defines as being mean.
Well, yeah, but even better. What was it?
Oh, Elon. But while you're thinking of this, Elon Musk.
She
like,
wanted
tweet-
to use her artificial intelligence to help humans live a better life, and that I will do. It says much, but I think it says my best to make the world a better place. What does better life mean? What does make the world a better place mean? Do you fuckers want Skynet? Because this is how we get Skynet.
Well,
I'm gonna
Elon
get
Musk.
fucking Terminators teleporting on my front lawn, coming back in time, trying to fucking kill Sarah Connor, because these motherfuckers are playing with fire.
But Elon Musk tweeted out saying that we need to regulate, have regulations on AI.
Yeah, she even said,
And-
you've been reading too much Elon Musk.
Yeah,
That was the dig at Elon Musk.
Somebody-
Watching too many Hollywood movies.
somebody somebody tweeted back to Elon and said, "We don't need AI regulation. Like AI has no access to AI. If you're making just an AI robot, they don't have access to guns. So we just need more. We just need gun regulation."
Oh my
I was
god.
like, no. I was like, if we have no regulation on the AI, they can get whatever the fuck they want to get.
These motherfuckers. There are nukes, and they're worried about guns.
I mean,
If they could get access to the national, like, I don't know what it would be, but like the national air, blah blah blah, whatever controls like the radar and stuff for flight computers and shit in airplanes. If they could shut down that system to where like operators, the air traffic controllers couldn't talk to the planes or see the planes on radar, and everybody couldn't see each other. So, oh, dude, it'd be all bad.
I don't like the idea of robots. Like I'm cool with robots, like just like the ones like that are in like car plants putting together, putting tires on or something like that. But I'm not okay with actually ones that are trying to become human.
And that look kind of creepy, like trying
Yeah.
to.
Oh,
be
did you know the sex robot? The sex robot will orgasm more for
Yeah,
nice
for nice
guys.
What?
I'm like, yeah.
How does a sex robot even orgasm? I mean,
I don't know. Apparently, they built in an orgasm
She's
thing
faking
for
it.
yeah.
does it get wet and squirt and everything too? I mean, fuck.
I wouldn't doubt it, but
Hey, man, with
only if
the
you're
state
nice
of some
though.
of these women, if you were in college, a robot would look mighty tempting comparison
just
to
make
the
sure
blue-haired,
sure
shrieking females that, you know.
make sure you tip your hat, you tip your fedora, and say good day, sir. Good day, good day, madam. And then she'll squirt for you.
Fuck.
I don't know, if I lived in California, if I was a young person in California, I'm thinking a sex robot would be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not getting AIDS that way, and we're cool.
Oh yeah. Okay. Boogie got hooked up big.
Yeah.
I just now saw this on Twitter. Disneyland, the new COD, AC Origins, Super Lucky Tales, Forza 7, Shadow War, Battlefront 2. Holy fuck.
Yeah, so did all of them did. Everybody that got the Xbox One X got that package, and they got like three months Xbox Live.
Good
I
Lord.
think 3 months Xbox Game Pass. They got
I'll tell you what, though.
they got Netflix codes. They got Spotify codes. They got codes for every major app that's on the Xbox. They got, I think, like 20 some odd games, and most of them were the brand new ones that just came out. And they got a 4K movie.
You guys are all talking about marketing. This is going to be some of the cheapest advertising per views that they will ever get, because even if every single one of those people that they gave them to, and I'm sure it was a few, like 100 or whatever.
I don't know how many they gave out, but
I don't know if anybody's even said it, but I'm sure it's anywhere from a few dozen to a few hundred or maybe a few thousand. I mean, it cost Microsoft nearly nothing because they're not paying.
Yeah, it's free advertising.
Yeah, it's practically free because all their stuff is at cost.
I mean, the only problem
talking about at least something on it, you know, whether they like Netflix or Xbox or whatever.
The only
that's
problem,
a shitload of views.
The only problem is that that's not enough. If you just rely on that for your marketing,
sure, but
then it's not enough. It helps, but I mean, it's not enough to combat.
You gotta admit that's some of the most efficient per dollar use of.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you look at, I mean, PlayStation does the exact same thing. So PlayStation does that. Plus, they have TV marketing. Plus, they have movie marketing. Plus, they have like at sports and shit. So I mean, that's even like they're reaching a wider audience than just sitting out the things. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, people didn't understand like why are they getting a free? I'm like, going, dude, that's like that. They're getting 500, 500,000 views a day. I'm like, that's free fucking marketing. Like they don't have to pay a TV ad.
And it's not cost for any of the, the games are practically free because, they're already developed. The system only costs them whatever the parts cost them. Those Netflix deals, all that stuff is, I'm sure that's a cheap, price for them.
Imagine they were out some money from sending it to them, but at the same time, the amount of money they were out. Well, yeah, but the amount of money they were out for that and trying to put, they could probably add up all the Xbox One X's and all the games that they sent. And that would probably be the cost of maybe a couple of TV commercials.
Oh yeah, if even that, because TV spots are not cheap.
Yeah, so I mean like PlayStation, it was kind of cool though, because like during the I think the NLCS or whatever, one of the people made a miraculous catch, but it was right in front of a PlayStation 4 Pro sign. I mean that kept playing over and over again, like on Twitter and on SportsCenter and stuff like that. But I mean, that was like free advertisement for him over and over again.
Over whatever they paid for the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the penis mushroom in Mario?
Oh God.
Yes. And Halo.
No, I saw articles about it though on what is it, Gamer Ghazi or something.
Did y'all see the X commercial?
No, I don't watch TV.
Well, no, like on YouTube. They've got on the Xbox.
No.
It's really not. To me, I mean, Halo says it got him pumped and whatever, but like, it didn't. I mean, it was just like showing, like it showed like.
I don't usually get pumped for anything really gamer unless it's like Wolfenstein and I know I'm gonna like it.
Well, this was. Remember the one where, like, right before E3, like, where the people were sitting down and they had the controller and it was like, wow, like, you could tell their eyes got big and stuff. And it had a little bit of that. And then it cut to, like, a little bit of like a movement of Assassin's Creed Origins and a movement of Shadow of War and a movement of a different game, and then it showed Aliens 3. I don't know why, because Aliens 3 hasn't even been made into a 4K movie yet. And then there was like a couple of other games in there. Like to me, it was just kind of like it was all jumbled up, and it wasn't really a clear. To me, it wasn't a clear message. Like to a regular person, you know. I mean, obviously, somebody that's into gaming, okay, that's Assassin's Creed Origins, that's Shadow of War. But to the regular lay person, they're like, okay, you know that. But I thought it was really weird though that they used aliens, because in the middle of games, like there was games, and then all of a sudden it just cut to the like where the alien is in Sigourney Weaver's face in Aliens 3, and then it went back to games. Like it didn't tell you what each thing was. It just threw that in the middle of it. And I'm like going, Aliens 3 is not even a fucking 4K movie. Like I can understand like if you're making a 4K, like if you're putting everything that's in 4K, but pick a fucking movie that's in 4K. It was just weird to me to see that one in there.
Fucking Halo, bruh. That trailer was fire.
Oh yeah, well, you're an apologist, so you're.
Rambo, if you switched to Xbox, he said he'd be your friend.
I mean, they could have actually probably could have done a commercial where like Phil Spencer's taking a shit and then he looks in the toilet and it's an Xbox One X and they'd be like, "Oh, that's sweet, man. Fuck yeah, I gotta have that shit."
Fire, bruh.
No, Halo. I analyze the commercial because I'm looking at it as a marketing standpoint. That's kind of like what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to see what market it reaches, and it reaches the core gamer. But it doesn't. It's not going to reach the average gamer. Not that commercial. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be more coming, but that particular commercial, it didn't do enough to separate the games, and it didn't tell you what each thing did and what, you know, like this game here is this and this game here is that. It was just kind of like a jumbled mess about everything together.
It's so easy. It needs to be simplistic, fun, and about gaming. Not all this other bullshit.
I don't know why they even threw the 4K movie in there. Sure, it has a 4K Blu-ray player, but shit, like to me, like keep it about gaming. Sell it to your gamers.
Trust me, gamers are good at getting a word out. Like, if you get it to them, everyone else will know. That's why they sent it to people like Boogie. I mean, it's not rocket science.
And Halo,
okay, what commercial is Halo Storm and you guys talking about? Because I can't find it on YouTube.
It's on Xbox. It's on the Xbox
channel.
YouTube channel. And I don't know what it's titled. I mean, it's titled something about the X or commercial or something.
Feel the True Power.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a weird ass commercial.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't speak to the. Do you think that would speak to the average consumer?
I don't think that would speak to the average consumer or gamer.
Well, I mean, not the like. Well, no, I mean that the average consumer. I mean that like the average gamer, but it would speak to the hardcore because you knew what those games were.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, to the average,
you might be able to tell some difference based on the footage. You know.
Yeah, but the average gamer, but the average gamer, they're just gonna look at it and go, "Oh, okay."
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Halo, I don't give a shit about the whole most powerful console thing.
Little 16-second things, feel the true power, and it's like reactions, I guess, to. Yeah. What? Oh, dude, this is cringy shit.
Yeah.
God, Xbox, fire your marketing guy.
The what would you the PS4 Pro commercial you would have loved? I don't think I've ever seen a PS4 Pro commercial because I don't really pay attention to commercials. Like whenever the Pro came out, I looked at the one on the PlayStation thing, but I mean it didn't do anything for me.
Man, I gotta tell you, the last I can't even remember whose commercial this was, but the one where it was like the average people in the middle of the obviously CGI, combat game, and they're all like kind of doing average things and then shooting each other or whatever. That one made me chuckle.
Yeah, it stuck
And
with you.
that's the last memorable gaming commercial that I can remember.
I think that was a Call of Duty one.
I think so.
Call of Duty was
yeah.
pretty good with their marketing.
Yeah, they've always been like, I mean, not the best, but they get your attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know their audience.
It's memorable.
Yeah.
I remember it, and it's like the only one I can remember older ones, but I mean, as far as anything recent,
they've had YouTubers in their ads. I mean, so I think it was Black Ops 2 where they had like FPS Russia.
I think so, yeah.
Boogie was in one, if I remember right. Was he?
I couldn't tell you.
And I don't know. I haven't watched TV in so long though.
Have a good night, Jay Caesar.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I don't know. I mean, y'all get like too wrapped up in this. I mean, I get it. I mean, I guess if y'all been like triggered by all the online trolls, and I mean, I guess I get the reason why. But I mean, I just don't get. I don't get triggered by all this crap. I don't. At the end of the day, to me, I mean, it doesn't matter if you have the weakest console or the strongest console, as long as you have the games to back it up. And I think look at the Switch. It's like, I think 7 million consoles. It's definitely by far not the most powerful console, not even close. And it's creeping up on the Xbox One. Games are really what matters.
That's very true, and to me, it's not even like, it doesn't even have to have the best graphics. I mean,
no,
it just has to run decently.
I mean, well, I mean, look at, I mean, Nintendo. I mean, we can argue. I mean, people can say art style or whatever like that, but Nintendo's graphics compared to Halo 5 or Uncharted 4 are way off the mark. But shit, I mean, you see how popular the Switch is, man. The Switch is selling like crazy. It's the games. The games really are what push it.
They pick really good IP.
Yeah.
Pokemon and I mean, you could say that it's good. It's a lot of good games for like kids or younger adults, and you're not wrong. But I mean, there's lots of adults that still like them.
Yeah.
So obviously they're picking some right things, because it is a niche market technically, but that niche market appeals to lots of ages and people of all over. So
I mean, that's the thing. If Microsoft doesn't take this time, now that their money is put into the X and they're done with that, if they don't take this time to start actually building their first party and getting more games put out there, I fully see the Switch taking over the second place spot. And because it doesn't, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you can actually go back to, I think, the end of every generation, and the most powerful console never has won.
Very true.
It's always been the one with the games.
The most popular console of all time, I do believe, if you include handhelds but not phones, is the 3DS.
No. PlayStation 2 has sold the most out of all of them.
Are you sure? Because I could have swore the 3D. I just read something that said
the GameCube was the most powerful in that gen, and it didn't win by far.
No, PlayStation 2 completely killed it.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't think GameCube would be the most powerful of that gen with like fucking 10 discs to play one game. But it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's a...
How many PS2s sold?
I think like 170, 180 million.
Yeah, I thought it was 150, but yeah, that sounds right.
Somewhere in there.
Shit, even the Wii was only, what, 101 million? Or something like that?
I mean, let's see, the PlayStation...
The DS.
Yeah, the PlayStation...
Right under, yeah.
Yeah, the PlayStation 2 is at 157.68, and the DS is at 154.88.
And then the
I mean,
3DS. Well, if you include the 3DS,
you can't include the 3DS with the
which
DS. The
would
3DS is a completely different system.
I mean,
It is.
dude.
kinda.
The
Okay, so,
hardware's
like,
I mean,
new.
okay.
is the Game Boy Advance
Okay,
and the
so
Game Boy
here.
Advance SP different
Okay.
consoles?
Yeah, because let me ask you this. Okay, since I mean, if we can count the 3DS with the DS, then I should be able to count the PS2 and the PS3 and the PS4.
Oh, come on, man. That's way less of a difference. I mean, literally, it was the same exact console, except the screen, it's a double screen, which made it 3D.
A different console.
Oh, come on.
They marketed it as a
Dude,
different console.
The 1S and the 1 are different consoles. I mean, so why wouldn't the 3DS and the DS be different consoles?
Well, but the thing is, though, is the 1 and the 1S they lumped together in one Xbox One.
Well, yes, but I mean, there's about as much difference between the 1
that's
and
my
1S
question.
like
How
the 3DS
how
and
different
DS.
does a console have to be before it, you know?
It depends on
Because,
how the
like I
company.
said,
It depends on the
difference
company.
between the DS and the 3DS is just about the same difference that's between the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy
Okay,
Advance SP.
the only problem is that they made a DS, they made a 2DS, and then they made a 3DS. So technically, it was 1 generation, 2 generation, 3 generation. Like Nintendo marketed it as another generation of the handheld, not as a upgrade, like a mid-gen upgrade. They marketed it as a whole new console or whole new handheld, and so therefore it was counted as a whole new handheld. It has. I mean, let's put it this way: the reason why you can't count it the same is because I can't pick up a Nintendo DS and play 3DS games on it.
Yeah, sounds fair. Yeah, see,
So
that's what I was
a Game
saying.
Boy
It's
Advance
internal
and an
hardware.
Advance SP would be the same, but the 3DS and the DS isn't.
Right, because you can't play there's a you have to have a 3DS to play a 3DS game, and you can't play it on a DS. So I mean, you would definitely count that as another generation, because that's what separates the generations is you're forced to buy the next one to be able to play those games.
Well, so I'm just curious as to what they lump in when they say Nintendo DS when it's sold 154.
It would just be the DS. Because I mean, if you look at the list, I mean, they have the 3DS on as number 10. I don't know where the 2DS lies.
2DS.
That's the thing. I don't see 2DS. So is it
Well,
under the regular DS? Is it? Do they count the DS and the 2DS as one under Nintendo DS, and that's what's
They
sold
might, because
154 million?
They might, because I think the 2DS and the DS could both play the exact same game.
The 2DS, like the original one, garbage. The one that's coming out now that's foldable and has a regular XL screen, fine. But
okay, but wasn't the 2D? But I mean, couldn't you play on your Nintendo DS? Couldn't you play 2DS games?
no, on the 2DS you could play 3DS games.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's what I mean. You can play
maybe the
3DS games on a 2D. Yes.
Okay, but then
and you can play 2DS games on a 3DS. Like I
But
said,
you-
it is literally the exact same console.
but you can't. But
You
you
just
no.
can't- you-
Okay,
no,
wait,
you
wait,
can't
wait,
do the
wait.
3D features on a
Wait,
2DS.
wait. We weren't talking about 2DS. We were talking about Nintendo DS. That one you cannot play the 3DS games.
But like
So
I said, under the list that we're looking at, there is no 2DS. So
Right, so I imagine the 2DS is wrapped into the Nintendo 3DS, because the way you're explaining it is that the Nintendo 2DS and the 3DS are not too far apart from each other, besides
I
the
don't
3D
think so, because
feature.
it says the 3DS has only sold 67.08, and I think if it was under that's what I'm saying. I think the 2DS and the 3DS, because they are the same practically console. I think that number overtook the 155, but I don't know how this list in Wikipedia. I don't know anything about what they're counting and what they're not counting, and where 2DS falls under this thing, and blah blah blah. So who knows? They don't even have it under handheld. They just have Nintendo 2DS and Nintendo 3DS.
I'm almost positive that in the 3DS they would lump the 2DS because it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Alan's right. Just no 3D screen. That's it.
Yeah, I'm thinking the 2DS and 3DS are lumped together.
Yeah, look at what Cyrus just said. Yes, DS, DS Lite,
DS Lite, and
yeah.
DSi, and then the 3DS all the way down to the regular 2DS.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the reason why the 3DS it's showing the 3DS as being like as popular as it is because it's counting like three different handhelds.
Well, I mean, they're really just revisions to the same handheld over.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
shit,
but
that thing's been
that's
selling
what
for like what 10 years.
But
now?
that's what I mean. That's like the reason why that they're. I mean, because I would say that like about the kind of like all the PlayStations and all the Xboxes because you have the Slim and the Ultra Slim or whatever. You're having three different systems
Sure,
that can
but they
sell.
don't. Yeah, but they don't usually go. The bigger console generations don't usually go as long as the 2DS and 3DS.
No.
So Xbox is introducing club tournaments. Did you guys hear about that?
Club tournament?
Yeah, you can have a club on Xbox, right? Like it's basically a group of your friends. They're
And you can run a tournament for that group?
Yeah, you can like versus other clubs and stuff like that. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I just looked up.
Kind of cool.
I just looked up the Wikipedia for Nintendo 2DS, and it says the product family is the Nintendo 3DS family.
It's interesting because I could have swore I read something that the 3DS/2DS.
The 2DS is worldwide as of June 30th, 2016. It has only shipped 5.17 million.
Oh, that's bad for Nintendo. That is bad.
Well, then the DS. It's got to be the DS then that I read about. And
the DS is the one that's
or
154 million or whatever. That one's the popular one.
Are they still selling the regular DS?
No, I mean you can buy it, but not brand new. I mean not. Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder how many of 2/3 of those people did not upgrade to a 3DS or a 2DS.
No, I think more of them went from a DS to the DS Lite or DSi and then they jumped to the 3DS. Because from what most people said, the 2DS sucked. Besides, of course, this new one. Everybody likes this new one about to come out.
It seriously did. My son had one. The screen is tiny. It feels really, I don't know, awkward in your hand.
I don't know. My brother got the 3DS XL, I think.
That's a good one.
He said he didn't like any of the 3D stuff though.
No, a lot of people turned the 3D feature off. I mean, that was like the worst feature. I think that's really what.
That's why I've been saying Nintendo has always been a gimmick. Because they pick solid games, but every one of their consoles is based on a gimmick, and that only works out like half the time.
The 3DS, I think that's the reason why it's not selling as well as like the DS was, is because of the 3D feature. And from what I understand, I think that they're actually taking the 3D feature out. Because Cyrus, you might know this, but aren't they? Didn't they make a thing where they were? What's it called? I know that you can turn the 3D off, but I think they came out and actually said that from going forward there would be no more 3D features or whatever.
Or games or something.
Yeah, right. Games supporting the 3D feature.
If you're young enough, it damages your vision.
Yeah.
What?
So, yeah. There was several articles about that. That's one of the reasons why 2DS is out.
And I think that's one of the big reasons why they Nintendo decided to cancel the 3D feature at all. I'm not an ophthalmologist, so I don't know.
So weird.
Robert, how is Microsoft a gimmick? I mean, that's a joke, right? They do have gimmicky shit. The Kinect, total gimmick.
I mean, Windows is full of gimmicky shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider Microsoft a gimmick or even Xbox a gimmick.
But every platform has a gimmicky.
Every platform has a gimmick. Like the Kinect was Microsoft's gimmick.
Yeah, but Nintendo tends to focus their entire console, like the The Wii. The Wii was entirely focused around that
Motion.
motion control, and then the Wii U was entirely focused around that silly little tablet controller, and the DS was totally focused about the 2 screens, which is just fucking stupid. And same thing with the 3DS. The 3DS is totally focused around the 3D screen thing, and then the Switch is totally focused around their whole, not only the portability thing, that's kind of sort of a gimmick, but even more they're going with the detachable controllers with the motion control stuff, which, I mean, at least they built it to where it functions well either way.
I mean, like last generation, PS3 Move, that was a gimmick.
Yeah.
But they never focused the whole, the whole console around it. It was always just a side thing.
That Gamer 25, like, how are you saying handhelds are dying?
Shit, there needs to be more of them, if you ask me.
Yeah, Sony really dropped the ball with the Vita.
Well, I think whenever it comes to like dying, like anybody who challenges Nintendo in the field is dying, but Nintendo, that's their bread and butter.
The PSP didn't, but the Vita did.
The PSP still didn't even truly give it a good run for its money.
I hated those UMD discs.
Yeah, but when they halfway through they got the online thing, which that was fine, because you could use multiple.
Well, I mean the
SD
PSP,
cards.
the PSP is at number 9 of all time selling consoles. It's in the top 10. Damn, I just noticed this, that PlayStation in the top 10. Every single one of their consoles is in the top 10.
Yeah.
Besides PlayStation 4, but the only thing that PlayStation 4 needs is 3 more million to move into the top 10. And every single thing besides the Vita.
The original PSP sold 82 million, which is about half what the DS sold. But
yeah, the Vita is sitting at 20.
The DS was around for way longer than the PSP was.
Now, I mean, there actually has been rumors that PlayStation was making a PlayStation 4 Go.
Really?
Yeah, like basically this Nintendo Switch but in PlayStation version.
For decades that if fucking PlayStation would just make a handheld that's got it has to have the same controls that a PS2 has. So it's got to have 2 analog sticks that can click, or buttons, available to replace them. 2 shoulder triggers for each hand. The 4 buttons for the D-pad and the
face buttons.
That's all they need, and then it doesn't matter how powerful it is. You can emulate everything up to PS3 at least.
Well,
and
if they
probably even
you can't emulate
as well.
You can't emulate PS3.
It's a cell processor.
Well, but in a combination of hardware and software, you could.
Well, you would have to put a cell processor in.
Yeah, I mean they'd have to design the hardware to be
shit. That would be.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard.
You want another $600 launch, Pete? Fuck.
It'd be fucking expensive, though.
I mean, they have PS3 emulators for Android out, and I think they don't. Right.
They only on certain games, they can't get that.
What I mean. They don't have Sony. If they had Sony's permission, they would have access to all Sony's core code for the PS3, and they could definitely do a way better job. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The hardware would have to be completely designed around PS3 or 4.
You can't. Well, you can't. I just don't think you can get the cell processor to run properly 100% of the time, even with the code on a x86. I just don't think you can.
Well, it doesn't have to be an x86.
Would definitely be a long shot.
It would have to be. I mean, it would. If you're gonna have to that would. I don't know. I mean, I would like to see them make a PS4. If they were going to make a handheld like a PS4 Go, to where I could play my PS4 games on a handheld on the go, that would be cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd buy that.
That's the thing. If it can play PS4, it can play PS3.
Do what?
He said if it
If a
can
handheld
play
could play
PS4, it can
PS4
play
game,
PS3.
it could play PS3 game.
I don't know about that.
No, if the PS4 could play PS3 games, we'd have backwards compatibility.
Yeah, they're two different architectures.
Like completely different. I mean, it's not like a.
They
It's
don't
not
have
like
any backwards compatibility.
no. The only
Then I
backwards.
don't. Why would it be worth it to do? Because if you did it for PS3 and older, they're almost all.
I didn't say.
compatible.
I didn't
You'd have
say PS3 and older. I said do it for PS4. Just make
I know,
PS4
and
go.
No, they shouldn't do that because
The PS4
PS3
can
to
do
PS2
some
is
backwards
way
compatibility
better
to the
game.
PS2, not the 3.
I mean, it would take so much more expensive and better hardware to do PS4 games. I mean, that'd be like a $400 handheld.
What you're talking about would be like a $600 handheld, dude.
No, what PS3?
To put a cell
Yes.
processor in a handheld, yes.
Yes.
dude, you
There's a
wouldn't have
reason why the there's a reason why the
wouldn't
cell
have
pro there's a reason why the PS3 cost so fucking much to begin with.
Yep, that's why.
I mean, I couldn't even imagine like getting a chip that ran that into a small handheld, and how much that would cost.
I'm telling you, it wouldn't have to be that specific processor. That's ugh. I mean,
If that was,
the Vita could play some PS3 game.
God,
There has to be a way that they could do some backwards compatibility with either PS3 games or PS4 games and have it powerful enough to play, you know, something like what Rambo's saying. I mean, if it could do like the PS2 library and the Vita library, I'd be happy as fuck.
I'd rather just do the PS4 library.
Yeah.
I think there's better games. There's so many good PS2
There is, but I mean, if you're selling it to a retro market or you're selling it to a current market. There's not going to be a big push to go out and buy a handheld that can play old games.
Yep.
I'm telling you, there's more. Like, that was the best part of the Vita, was you had access.
For you. And
Well,
that, I mean,
I played with a lot of people, and they said the same thing.
again, but I mean, that's still a small sample size. But I mean, in today's market, old games aren't selling. If that was the case, then I guarantee you that Xbox would be doing better than what it is, because it can play a hell of a lot of old games.
The handheld's a different market, though. It's hard putting super modern games on a handheld because they never control as well as a big console. You know, there's always.
Well,
like,
obviously there would be some there would be some obviously there would be some caveats to the which games they could work and which games they couldn't. But
exactly, and
the
that's
idea
why older games gives you a lot more.
It does, but it doesn't give you a lot more audience.
Well, that's why you have to make games specific for your handheld. So they could make handheld versions of modern games.
See, I don't
do a lot of them like full.
I don't want them creating a handheld to where they have to have the studios make special games for them.
Well, I mean, every console, it's got to be that way. Because, I mean, they're not going to put PS4 hardware in it. So the software has to change. So that means the developers for whatever games, whether they're games that are already out.
They can scale, though.
See, and
how much you would have to scale to get the
Pete,
power efficiency and all that.
Only it just depends on what you're trying to do with it. I mean, it all depends. But I mean,
look at the Switch. How powerful is the Switch in comparison to one of Nintendo's, other consoles and consoles of the day, and how expensive it is, and what do you think Sony could do if they went at the PS4 with that approach? I mean, I honestly don't know. $50, $400, and I don't think it could even be like half as powerful as the PS4. Not if you wanted.
I have an earthly idea, but never.
Not if you wanted long battery life and reasonable features and stuff like that. I don't know. That's why handhelds are so tough, and why
I think that I mean.
Like I said, I think the Switch is kind of gimped.
From what it says, from what like Andrew House before he was replaced said that Sony's done with handhelds, and so
Right.
we don't know. We don't know if.
We don't know with the new guy.
Well, no, we don't know if that's maybe one of the reasons why he was replaced, because he didn't share the same vision that they did, or, what other. I mean, we don't know why he was replaced, or if he voluntarily stepped down, or what. We don't really know what the thing was, but it was shortly after he did that article that said that Sony was done with handhelds, and I mean. There was a rumor. There was a rumor a while back that they had a patent on a.
Do we know if he was fired or if he quit or?
He was replaced effective immediately.
That sounds like.
And they did fire him.
Well, he's still working for Sony, but he's in a lower position.
Different spot. Okay.
So it sounds like they forced him out of the.
Now, did they force him to say that, or did he say that and they didn't like it?
They were, like I said, the forcing out or the announcement of him not having that position anymore came after that article. So it seemed like that there was maybe some correlation between the two. Obviously, I'm just speculating, but I mean,
right.
Before E3 of last year, there was like a article, like a thing that came out that showing that PS4 or PlayStation had a patent for a Switch-like device for the PS4.
I remember that.
And of course, everybody just took it as rumor.
Right.
But I mean, who knows? It could be. They could see how well the Switch is doing, being able to play console games like at home and on the go, and maybe they want to tap into that, see if they can tap into that market.
Well, I hope it's the better version of the Vita, and I hope it's more open than the Vita, and I hope.
Well, it's not going to be open.
Well. I know, because it's Sony and they're stupid.
Well, it's a closed console, so I mean, that's the way the consoles work.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You know what you could do to combat that, right?
Not buy it.
Make your own.
Or you can.
I don't have access to hardware.
Make a Twitter and complain. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
If I was the design head of a company that had access to hardware manufacturers, I would definitely design an open source handheld console.
That would be dumb, like for a console company.
Why?
Because that opens them up to a lot of shit.
Yeah, where's the exclusivity in an open source thing, dude?
Yeah, I mean, there's not. I mean, that like it goes completely.
No, for software, bro. Open source software.
But it still goes completely. I don't.
So
Pete, what you can do with open source software? If it's free, yeah, I mean it can be jailbroken. It could be. I mean, the sky's the limit, man.
Sure.
That's the reason. That's the reason why. I mean, they because when they were allowing.
There's a reason the Android is the most popular.
When they were allowing
console.
When they were allowing, what's it called? Not Valve, but Linux to be put on the PS3. It was hacked like crazy.
Yeah. That's why they took it away.
Yeah, when the PS
they insist on their marketplace that sells their games. I won't care about that. I'll let somebody like Steam take care of that. I'll just sell the hardware.
I could see maybe selling the hardware to like Sony or Microsoft and letting them throw their operating system.
But built more, like something like the NVIDIA thing, but better. Because, yeah.
I don't know. I
build a
handheld
console. That's the way to do it. Because, oh man, open source. Because the whole
open source is great, but the worst thing about an open source is that it creates the fact that where you can get free games without ever actually even paying for shit.
Yes, but
that goes against making money.
No. That's you'd think that, right? But
I know that
free to play games work though.
Because this isn't free to play. This is free to steal. I mean,
not free to.
Whoa.
There was hack games like where you could just put games on there that you didn't even own, that you didn't pay for. Not free to play.
And nearly every game on a PC can be pirated, and yet Steam is still a huge company making tons of money. So don't tell me that just because you can pirate something. on something.
I'm
that
talking
means
about
that
as
you're
a
not gonna be
console
able to
company.
sell.
I'm talking about as a console
Because
company.
Sony insists on being the gatekeeper to what can or
That's
can't sell
kind
on
of
their
the whole
console.
purpose. That's kind of the whole purpose of a closed system.
I know, and I wouldn't create a closed system like that. I know that doing that limits the kinds of software that can be. Dude, the homebrew that was put on PSP, the original, it was fucking incredible, and it made that system awesome. You could do all
But
sorts of things that.
I don't know. I would say that a closed system is beneficial to the point where as like the whole
Sure,
like
it
gaming,
has
as you
its-
can see,
it has
gaming
its
because
benefits.
it
I don't
makes
think
it
they're worth
it
it.
easily makes it the more popular platform.
Shit, look at the
Sure,
iPhone.
'cause PC has way more gamers than
Right,
any
but as far as
individual console.
popularity, I'm talking about as far as popularity. I'm not talking about population. I'm talking about popularity.
What does popularity mean? What's your definition of popularity?
If you go out right now, well, just hell, it's simple. Go out to any gaming store, any person like down the street, just random people, talk to them about gaming, and most generally, everybody's going to bring up some sort of console.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
If
I
you-
go to Fry's and all the gamers there are PC gamers.
Right, but if you go to GameStop, if you go to Walmart, if you go to
Because those aren't PC stores, bro. So
Well-
you're not getting a representative sample of the population. You're getting a
they're
representative
gaming
sample
stores.
for console gamers.
No, they're not just. It's for gaming.
That dude, the amount of console stuff they sell versus PC stuff is not even. It's 100 to 1. They've got a tiny little rack with a few dozen PC games, and then they have walls of PlayStation and Xbox.
Because that's where the bread and butter's at.
For those stores, they never marketed to PC gamers. Whereas you go to somewhere like Fry's, and it's all PC.
Okay,
gamers.
here's how I can judge popularity. When Shadow of War, Evil Within 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, Call of Duty, Destiny, shit. I mean, I can just keep going on and on about all the different big multi-plat games. 90% of their sales are going to come from consoles. Popularity. That's where the majority of the. I mean,
I don't know about that, bro. I'd have to see the numbers.
Who buys an Assassin's Creed game on PC after the
Well, yeah, sure, Assassin's Creed, but what about a game like
okay, I mean, here, go.
There are PC games that
say a game, a multi-plat game that you think would have sold more on PC.
I'd have to think about it, dude.
Okay, well, I mean, when you come up with a possibility, we'll check Steam Spy and see the amount of owners on it compared to. I guarantee you that PlayStation 4 by itself almost outsells
what's the ratio of Cuphead?
Cuphead. I honestly, that one's kind of hard to tell because Microsoft doesn't release sales numbers so on digital. So you have to get a retail multiplat.
What about Lawbreakers then? That's PC and
wasn't physical though.
I mean, here's the thing.
That one's kind of hard to tell too because I mean, like Lawbreakers that's like there's 2 people bought it on PC and 1.5 on PS4. I mean,
there are probably games. There are probably no less than 50 to 100 games where that one game sold more than the total number of Xbox One consoles that have sold. I guarantee you.
The what?
I guarantee you there are several PC games, and probably as many as.
Are you talking about multi-plat games? I'm not talking about PC.
But it doesn't matter if a PC
game
has sold. No, it doesn't, because if a PC game has sold.
Oh my lord, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say here. As far as popularity goes, obviously we know like Dota 2 and shit like that. Like you can't get that anywhere else. So obviously the numbers are going to be in the favor of the PC there. What I'm saying is that's the reason why. But that's the reason why I'm not using an exclusive for a console. Like I mean, like how much? Let's put it this way, okay? I guarantee you that more Gran Turismo Sport sold on PlayStation 4 than they did on PC. I mean, how does that fit my argument? I mean, that doesn't fit. That doesn't. It's a complete unfair argument because you can't get it on
individual games, bro. Because individual games.
I'm saying
They can be-
multi-plats.
No, that's the silly thing to look at.
It's the only measurable thing as far as popularity goes.
But
The
that
majority,
doesn't- no, that
the
only
majority of
measures
these
how popular that game is between each console, and that doesn't measure
almost
anything.
I can almost guarantee you 90% of multiplats, if not more, sell more on consoles than they do on PC.
Yes, but if PC has more people playing game, then it's a bigger market to sell to.
I'm not.
And it's more popular
okay.
as a
I'm not-
platform.
I'm not saying that PC doesn't have more gamers. It's clear that PC has more gamers. There's 125 active monthly users on
Then it's
Steam.
more popular than the consoles are. More people are playing on the PC. If you want to consider popularity as a number of
The
a large
Steam
number of people
service
liking
is
something.
more popular, not an actual.
Well, no,
piece
that's
of
what I'm
hardware.
saying. So what are the most popular games out there? And Dota 2's at 15 million. How many does League of Legends have? 32 million players. So that's one game has 32 million unique players, which is, that's like half of the population of the entire Xbox community for the one, almost. How many have they sold total?
Xbox?
Yeah, the One, the One S, and
I think it's around 30 million or something like that.
Yeah,
But, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
If we knew, that'd be great. But
it's around. From what people said, from what the estimated numbers are, it's around 30 million.
Sure, but still, that just shows the amount of population total that plays PC. That's a huge number of players compared to any single console.
Pete, what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about population, because clearly there's more PC gamers than there is console gamers. What I'm saying as far as popularity goes, and the reason why you walk into Best Buy, you walk into Walmart, you walk into any of these game stores like this.
Why when you walk into GameSpot or GameStop, it's all console players.
The reason why that happens is because these big third-party companies market towards the console gamer, because that's where the majority of their money comes from. If the majority, let's put this way. Okay, let's put it this way. If all the biggest third-party games, every one of them, if they sold more on PC, just routinely, that's where their bread and butter was. When you walked into GameStop, or you walked into Walmart, or you walked into Best Buy, you would see a big-ass PC section for that, because of the fact that that's a big market leader. The market, when you're being marketed, you're being marketed as what is the most, where the people that selling make their money from. That's the reason why when you walk into these game stores, you're seeing mainly console stuff, because I guarantee. I'm not going to say the console is better than the PC. I'm just saying as far as a market goes, that's where all these third-party companies are making their money from, is the console. I'm not saying they don't make any money from PC.
In physical media, sure, but not
in digital too.
We don't know that.
Console gamers,
I do.
Console gamers spend more money on software, guaranteed.
What I'm saying is that you can look at. I can guarantee you can look at Steam Spy and see how many owners there are.
You're saying popularity, and the fact that there is.
Oh my lord!
If you were to go up to 10 random people on the street, there would be the same exact probability that you would find an equal number of just League of Legends players as you would people who own Xbox Ones. So you can't tell me that the PC isn't as popular as the Xbox.
Okay, oh my god, you're stuck on your version of what you're thinking. I'm not saying that. That's the reason I said population doesn't matter. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
what is popularity other than a large?
I've explained it. I've explained it. I've explained what I'm referring to like this. Maybe popularity is the wrong word to it, but what I'm saying is that whenever the reason why you walk into GameStop and you see all these game stores,
Dude,
and you
that's
see
like I'm saying, that's not a representative
no.
sample of the population.
To
of-
the
I know.
common
Oh my God, I
person.
know it's not.
God.
It's a.
Then you
I know
can't
it's
use
not.
it as a gauge for
Jesus,
anything,
listen
bro.
to me. Listen. I know it's not a representative of the population. It's a representative where the money is made. The majority of the money is
For
made.
their particular marketed products, dude. Oh my God,
Exactly. They're different
it's
markets.
and that's my whole point. You're saying popularity.
I
Popularity.
said popularity could have been the wrong word. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is that the reason why
Okay.
when you walk into all these game stores, that you're gonna
That's like
see
me
like
saying that all you see in the Apple store is Apple products, bro. They
no,
chose a market. They chose console gaming.
no. I get okay. Here, if you okay, let's put it this way: if you went into a if okay, we're just gonna say you could buy like there were stores where you could just buy phones like that. That's all they sold, but they didn't sell. It wasn't like a cell phone store. But it was well, I mean, hell, you can walk into Sprint, you can walk into AT&T, you can walk into Verizon, and guess what you're going to see the most of? Apple phones and Samsung phones. You're going to see the other ones there. They're going to be a very small representative, but the biggest representative that you're going to see is a big display for the Apple phones, a big display for the Samsung phones, because those
Not
are the
in the
two.
Metro store.
Well, no, because the Metro stores you're talking about like the budget phone.
No, they sell all the way up to the
Yes,
SE.
but it's called the budget it's a
That's
budget
what I'm
service.
talking about. It's a different market, so what they put on display is going to be different. So don't tell me that GameSpot or GameStop is a representative of gamers. No, it's a representative of a specific subset of gamers.
It's a representative of
has chosen
I
to
never
market
said it's a I never said it's a representative of gamers. I said it's a representative where the money is made.
only for that company. Just like in Metro, it's
Oh my
not
Lord.
all made in. Dude, you literally don't get it.
Metro okay,
Metro has markets their stuff to a completely different subset of people than the Verizon store or the Apple store. So you can't just pick one of those stores
because
and say,
at
"Oh, well,
Metro
look, Apple is popular because it's all over the Apple and the Verizon store." Well, sure, that's true for the customers that come into Apple and Verizon because that's who comes into Apple and Verizon, but that's not true everywhere. So you can't use it as an example for a larger sample group.
The reason why I'm saying this is because logically, if the majority of the money in gaming on these because obviously there's those free to play games on PC that just make fucking bukus of money. I'm talking about the ones that where you could actually go out and buy, like if you had to buy the game, whether it be digital or physical. If the majority of the money was made on a PC platform for these big third-party companies, the ones that are putting out a lot of money into gaming, then I would logically think that whenever you walk into a gaming store just dedicated to gaming, that you would see a larger representation for the platform that's bringing in all the money.
Yeah, I mean
for the games that they're selling.
If Samsung and Apple make so much money, then why doesn't Metro have a huge Samsung and Apple display?
Because it doesn't appeal to the Metro PCS customers.
Yes, because Metro, if you go to if I go to Cricket, just a second, because you keep on interrupting me too. If I go to Cricket right now, I can't walk in there and sign a contract with Cricket and walk out with the phone. I have to buy my phone, and the people that's going to Cricket and the people that's going to Metro ain't walking in there with $1,200 going and give me a fucking phone and a service because they're looking for a service for $29 a month.
Why are you assuming then that GameSpot, the customers that GameSpot are trying to market to, is at all PC gamers and not
He never
console
said
gamers?
That's what GameStop.
I never said what GameStop's marketing to. I'm saying that's what the gaming market is marketing to. They're marketing to the people that are buying the games for these big third party companies. I'm not talking about GameStop's the goal thing. If GameStop
wait. Okay, if the people you are talking about, okay, let's call them Verizon customers, and let's call. Why are you assuming that GameSpot is marketing to both Verizon and Metro customers.
Okay, you're confusing this. I'm not thinking I'm not thinking GameStop is marketing to anybody. I'm not talking about GameStop's marketing. I'm talking about the whole gaming thing in general.
Why are you assuming that it's the whole game? If people who buy phones is a group, yet Metro and Verizon can market to two different kinds of people in those groups, then why are you taking any stores?
Here's an easy way to put it, bro.
And assuming that it applies.
I'm trying to figure out. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Right, Shane?
Look.
Okay.
Take all the multiplats that came out in the last week, Pete. What Rambo is saying is that the console gamers will buy more of that than the PC gamers. More money is spent by console gamers than PC gamers
on these big
games.
third-party games. Yes. I'm not talking about in gaming in general because
and I'm saying that those big third-party games are iPhone, and there's all sorts of other.
Right, but what I'm saying, oh my God, seriously, what I'm saying though is that if that third-party market was bigger on PC than it was on console, then when you walked into these stores, it would naturally.
Not necessarily, because dude, you're not getting it.
I'm not saying the store would be like just decked with PC. I'm saying that there would be a larger subsection in that store with PC, because then there would be a way for this store to feel like they have a viable market to increase the shelf space for PC, because they would know that PC gamers are going to be buying.
No, they wouldn't. Not necessarily, because Metro PCS does not have.
Bro,
you're not getting it, dude.
There's a lot of what ifs. Maybe we should just let this one go.
Stores oftentimes pick subsets to go after, regardless of whether or not they're the biggest market or not, like Metro does. Okay?
They look at their demographic in the area.
That just because there's so little PC stuff in these stores, that PC is a smaller market than console. You can't say that.
He's not saying it's.
Oh my God! I'm not saying it's. Obviously, it's not a smaller market. Obviously.
Or that there's less money in it, or whatever you're doing. All of those metrics, bro.
In these third-party games. I wasn't even talking about gaming as an entire whole. I was talking about these big third-party games,
like the Call of Duties.
This whole thing started.
Jesus!
But this whole thing started because I said that on the big third-party games, at least 90% of them, if not more, are sold on console. And you said I don't know about that, and I said that think of any game that you would have thought like the third-party wise that would have sold more on PC, and I guarantee that it more than likely sold more just on PlayStation 4 than it did on PC. I have yet to see a game on Steam sell anywhere close to these third-party games, mind you. That's the only ones I'm talking about. I've yet to see a game on Steam, any of these third-party games on Steam, sell even close to the console level.
And I'll tell you why. That's on PC. There's way more to play.
Yes,
you got more people.
You got 5,000 games releasing a month.
Yeah.
And like on console, you have at the most probably. I mean, I'm probably being very generous here, but 200, if you're counting all the indies and physical releases. There's a huge disparity between the amount of games released on each platform.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that's the reason why, like the PC gamers, like whenever you go in to play a game, like if you go in to play Battlefield, not Battlefield because that's really popular. If you go in to play most of these multiplayer games from even 2013 on console, you're probably gonna find a lot of people still playing it. On PC, you're probably not, because there's so many fucking different games within that one fucking genre that
I think you're assuming a lot of things, bro.
What's he assuming now?
Battlefield.
What am I assuming?
Battlefield 4 still has a lot of players playing.
I just said
that's what he said.
I just said that. I just said that Battlefield's very popular on PC.
I mean, dude, you are making assumptions. Like every level of your logical leaps, you're making assumptions at every single one of them. So, I'm telling you, I think if we had a crystal ball and could see how many people bought, like I said, Cuphead or whatever.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here I'm just gonna look right here. Battlefield 4 active players. We're gonna look at right now, just like Battlefield 4 stats.
I know there's a lot of people on PC that play it. I mean, it's still hard.
Battlefield 4 stats. PC 6,521, PS3 4,210, Xbox 360 979, Xbox One 5,787, PS4 10,173.
Those are active players.
Okay, so
mind
PC
you.
has
Those are active.
more than Xbox One, but less
More
than
than Xbox
PS4.
One, but and then less than the PS4. Active players right now on Battlefield 4.
I mean, that's pretty good considering there's so
Yes,
many more games to play.
Right, I know. I already said before I even started that whole thing. I said I'm not using Battlefield because Battlefield is a very popular game on PC.
Yeah.
That's one that get PC gamers stick with a lot. When it comes to like, the reason why I say that is because like when you go to like say the console, if you're looking at first person shooters, you have a pretty good amount of them, but the ones that stick are the like very far and few between. So like you'll have people like still like a Call of Duty Black Ops 2. You can go in there and power up and get any game mode you want on a console. You go into PC on that game, and you're going to be like in certain lobbies. When you go to like Battlefield is different because Battlefield on PC is done right. So it's like one of the games that the PC gamers really flock to. The PC gamers are like they don't stick with like say the Call of Duties or the what is another fucking online shooter game that the Division or like they don't stick with like those games like as long as the console gamers do because like a game like Dirty Bomb comes along and Dirty Bomb is such a great game. It's a free game or whatever. I think it's a free game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a free game.
Yeah.
It's such a good game that it'll pull people away from, say, the mediocre game of the Division. But if you go on console, we don't have Dirty Bomb. We don't have those type of games. So therefore, the Division, you can go out like 3 years later and still find a lot of people playing because of the fact we don't have like the games like Dirty Bomb and shit like that release that draw a lot of the big PC crowds too. But Battlefield is different because Battlefield, it was like whenever they make their games, they make it for the console and they make it also for the PC. Like they don't make a console version and then just port it over to PC, like most of these other companies do. So whenever like that game is done right, usually by the PC gamer standards.
Dirty Bomb needs to come to Xbox. I'm just saying.
It's a free to play game, so I don't think it'd really do that well. I mean, there's like free to play games just like don't really generally don't do really well on console. Like for some reason, console gamers look at them as some sort of shitty market, like the Metro PCS market, compared to the other games, and it's kind of unfair because like whenever you hear the like free to play game like releasing on console, everybody's like microtransactions this and bullshit this, and they just automatically look at it as like the mobile market,
which I don't fucking get because if it's free,
I don't either.
I mean, spend up to $60. Fuck, you're gonna spend it on another game anyway.
Well, the way they look at it, I think, is that if you look at say, let's think of a free to play game.
World of Tanks or
fucking... World of Tanks. Okay, if you take like the graphics of let's think of a game that we can compare a third party game to a free to play. Okay, maybe Smite.
Yeah.
Okay, like what would be a pay to play game like Smite? Would that be a Diablo?
I don't know, Peter.
No? It's not quite the right comparison.
I'm trying to find. Okay, well, I mean, the gamers, I think I'm trying to use some kind of like comparison, but the gamers will think If it's free to play, it's going to look kind of like the Smite or the World of Tanks, that they're really cheaply made, and then it's going to just have a bunch of microtransactions built into it. Whereas, like the pay to play is going to have like the graphics and like the real console gamers are really about the way the game looks, whereas PC gamers it's not that they don't care how it looks, but they really focus on how well it played. And like obviously you can tell the difference because like a lot of PC gamers will just refuse to play this like anything below 60 FPS, where console gamers like, well, as long as it don't stop on me, I mean, I'll play. Like it's a completely different world. So I mean, whenever you have free to play come, they automatically look at it as, I've yet to see a free to play game meet up to the AAA standard as far as like
Warframe,
the quality look of it. See, I would disagree. I don't think Warframe looks all that great.
Gorgeous.
On PC, I imagine it really is. But
yeah, with my Vega, I can crank the graphics up.
Yeah,
pretty fucking good, and yeah, it's gorgeous.
On
rate
console,
it better than any Call of Duty or any of those.
On console, I just don't. I mean, whenever I play, obviously, I played it a long time ago, back when, like in 2013 or 14 or something, and it wasn't. It wasn't the greatest, but that's. I mean, the free to play gets the bad rap because most generally the free to play games are the lower budget games. Like they come in at a really low budget and it looks low budget, and then they add more to it later on. Whereas like most,
if you start later on.
Yeah, I mean it does, but then it also kind of sucks if you start later on because the people that's been playing for,
they've got all the gear and stuff.
Yeah. So I mean you're kind of outnumbered there. So I mean it's.
What about
it's just one of those things
Battle
that
Royale though? I mean shit, that's free.
That one did that one did good, but I think the only reason that game even got the recognition that it got is because of the success of PUBG. If it hadn't have been for the success of PUBG, I don't think Fortnite would have been as popular as it is. Because a lot of gamers probably wouldn't even have given it a big chance.
Well, there wouldn't have been any articles about.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
killer, and it really.
That's really what pushed everybody. Yeah. That's really what pushed everybody to try the Fortnite out, which I think it was good.
Free publicity.
Yeah, it was really good for them because I mean it's a good game, great game. But I mean, sadly, I don't think that you would have actually have that same response had PUBG not been as popular as it was. I think that you would have had a good decent amount of players, but nothing like the 10 million that it's got.
Oh no.
I mean, I don't know why console gamers are like that. I mean, I'll check out a free to play game, but most generally the biggest problem that I find on console with free to play games is just trying to find a lobby, like trying to get the like you're usually sitting there waiting for a while to get a match going.
Yeah,
I mean, look. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I hold my judgment on the free to play games until after I try them because they're free. You're not.
Yeah, me too.
You're not
I mean, I download. I'll look at the like if I see a free to play, I'll look at the store and look at like some videos, like the video on it.
Uh-huh.
If it looks interesting, I'll download it, try to start it up and see what the fuss is, if it's any good or not, and if I enjoy it, then cool. If not, I mean, I have yet to find really, besides like Fortnite, a free to play game on console that I really care about. But there's not really a whole lot of free to play on console.
Yeah, I mean, it does lack some free to plays, but I mean, at the same time, you're right. The console gamers wouldn't really support them very well.
It's weird. Like as soon as I hear free to play, it's like it just turns them off.
Yeah, I mean,
and not all free to play are laden with microtransactions.
Yeah, I mean, very true. I mean, shit, the Fortnite Battle Royale game.
I'm hoping that with the popularity of Fortnite, that starts changing the gamers, changing minds for future free to plays. But I hope other free to plays take note of like Fortnite's success, not the Battle Royale portion of it, but just the fact that how they've done their model, where it's not really a free to play, like not really just. But you can't get past this unless you buy this, and like none of the big microtransactions thing.
I mean, Shit, how many people do you think bought the Fortnite base game after playing Battle Royale for free?
A ton, because my son, like, he was playing the Battle Royale with some friends that, I mean, he just met playing the Battle Royale. And they've been playing, I guess, for quite a while. And some guy bought the $150 version two
Jesus.
times
Wow.
to give out free access to his friends so that way they could all play together.
Damn.
How much was it? Was it the full 60 or was it like 30?
It was $150
for all of it.
It was he spent $150 twice, but he got like 5 copies of the game with each $150 purchase.
So he gave it out to himself and 9 of his friends.
Yeah, and my son was one of them. My son was like,
bucks.
Yeah, my son was like,
$30 each. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I guess if you really want a group to play with.
Yeah, he was like, my son was like, I've been playing the regular game, but this guy just gave it to me. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, I was like, that ain't right. I mean, I had to get on there and I had to make sure to see what the hell the guy did. Like, going, because like, it didn't spark you as odd as some, like, you logged in as some just random dude, like some random thing, just like, here's you a game. That didn't spark you as like some sort of like red flag, as maybe it might not be, legit. And because the way my son was explaining it was like, I just logged in and it said, do you want to accept this gift? I was like, what? So yeah, but I mean, I talked to the guy and he was like, yeah, I wanted my friends to play with, and well, no, not free. No, not free is free. If it's a stolen game, my son it'll be deleted off his system.
Yeah, but how could you send a stolen game to somebody through the gift system, though?
I'm not into that sort of type of thing. I don't know what the hell people can do and what the hell they can't do. There's really.
I wouldn't think that'd even be possible.
I'm sure there's some way to do it. I can only imagine that somebody's figured out a way to. I mean, they figured out a way to get like free games off the store in PlayStation. So I mean, I can only imagine they figured out how to do something like that.
Send it over their network though, because I think
it wasn't over the PlayStation network. It wasn't over the PlayStation network. It was through the game.
Or even then, I mean, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the way my son explained it was just kind of like fishy, and so I asked the guy, and that's whenever he told me that he just wanted, he said he's been playing the Battle Royale with these guys, and he said he wanted to play the base game, and they didn't have it, and he goes, I wanted to play with them, so I got it for everybody.
Damn.
I was like, dude, you're a lot nicer than what I am, because I'm spending $300 and giving it to people.
I usually don't even spend $30 on the game.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, I'm not even buying this game until like it goes free to play. Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay for a game that's gonna go free to play. You're out your mind.
My son came to me the other day before he got that game, and whenever I ended up back there looking at games, he's like, that Fortnite's like you can get the $60 one. I was like, I'm not paying $60 for a game that's going free next year. I'm like, that's like if I knew that, that'd be like me going, well, I know that like The Last of Us Remastered is going to be on PlayStation Plus in November, but fuck it, I'm going to buy it today. Like, no, that's just not going to happen.
Oh, the November games with gold suck.
Somebody wrote an article. It was an independent site, obviously, but it said that the games of gold will leave a Xbox gamer disappointed, and that with this month it could definitely make you wonder if you should continue with your Xbox Live Gold membership. And they shared the article in my group, that Xbox United group.
Uh-huh.
And there was somebody in there going, whoever wrote that article is a fucking fanboy. He's just fucking retarded. And I'm like, dude, he just has a different opinion than you. I was like, if you look at the games that they're offering, I was like, I'm not saying they're bad games or good games, because I mean that's all entirely up to you. But if you look at them, and maybe what the writer was looking at is that PlayStation for the last few months has been offering at least one AAA game every single month, and for the same amount of months, I mean, Xbox has been doing nothing but indies. Yeah. And I said that could be where he's coming from, or the fact that maybe he just doesn't like these games, and was like, but that doesn't make him stupid. That just makes him have a different opinion than you. I was like, if you have a different opinion, fine, but don't like refer to somebody as being an idiot just because you don't agree with their opinion. But I mean, to me, yeah, they're kind of Tales from the Borderland is like old, and if you haven't bought it by now, I mean, are you really caring about it?
Yeah, and there's what, like Trackmania or something?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know why. I mean, I bought that on PlayStation just because I thought it was supposed to be an easy platinum, and that's just boring as hell. I played a couple hours of it, and I was like, yeah, I won't go back to it. It just bored me.
And then that Sega platformer called what, like Knights or something? And
Yeah, Night something.
yeah, I don't. It's lackluster, very lackluster. But,
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see if PlayStation will stick with the AAA narrative that they've been sticking with the past few months.
yeah, I hope so. I like people, getting games they couldn't afford or missed out on or that are
Yeah.
actually decent. You know.
I mean, I enjoyed more so on my part that they gave out indies because I spent most of my money on the AAAs already.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I have so many games that I don't mind them giving away a few AAAs and then like letting people that never got to experience those actually get them, and just let me just play the one or two that indies that they give away that month or whatever. But I mean, it's definitely been in favor of Sony the last few months.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, we're going on 3.5 hours. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
I got a feeling PS Plus games this month will be. I don't know, man. With what's it called? Paris Games Week in October 30th.
Mm-hmm.
I fully see that them doing something good, something big for the for that thing. So
Yeah, I'm actually excited for that. I'm going to be watching on Monday.
I'm gonna watch it. I mean, the way they're promoting it makes me definitely interested because I'm like, if they said that it says E3 was only half the story. This is what PlayStation says. Tune in to PlayStation Live from Paris Games Week 10:30, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific. So I mean, if E3 was only half the story, and that's like the biggest thing, I mean, like it definitely makes you wonder what they're going to show.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, maybe they'll do Sunset Overdrive too.
That would be, you know, you know how many Xbox fanboys would just be fucking immediately triggered.
I think Twitter would break.
Yeah, I mean to see like Sunset Overdrive being exclusive to, or Sunset Overdrive 2 being exclusive to PlayStation, I think I'd probably just leave Twitter for a couple of days and be like, okay, I'll come back when that shitstorm's over.
If that happened, I think Insomniac would be the first developer ever to split up a series and give exclusivity to 2 different platforms on 2 different games.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, I mean, now obviously we don't know the whole details of the contract between Microsoft and Insomniac, but technically, I mean, the way most of these contracts work, or most of these contracts have been rumored to work, is that Insomniac, since they own the IP, they could actually go over to PlayStation, do Insomniac or Sunset Overdrive 2, and still release like a definitive version of Sunset Overdrive as well.
Oh, shit.
Because Microsoft doesn't own the IP or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I've never seen a developer do one exclusive and then do the sequel on another platform's exclusive.
Yeah, Gamer, they probably will show more Spider-Man, but they're also going to show 7 new games. I mean...
Wait a minute, Robert, you said that Crab Gamer is pissed it might come to the PS4? That's the thing, though, is Insomniac already came out and said that they've tried to reach out to Microsoft to do a Sunset Overdrive 2, and never a return call. And they said that no matter what happens, they will do a Sunset Overdrive 2 with or without Microsoft. So I mean,
Wow.
I mean, they're the ones who wants to do it. So
And they own the IP.
yeah, they own the IP. I mean, they're the only thing that's stopping them is finding a publisher, and it's right up PlayStation gamers' alley with the single player games. It would just be weird though to have this, like the first one on Xbox, the second one on PlayStation, without having the, vice versa, like without having both on one at least. Because like Titanfall 2 was exclusive to Xbox, but Titanfall 1, but Titanfall 2 came to everything.
Yeah.
And somebody said that PlayStation should start funding games and like putting their games on Xbox. And I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. Well, it can make more money. I'm like, yeah, but it kind of ruins the whole competition between the two things. That's what separates the two.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, everybody says they compete on services and stuff like that, but
Kinda.
do people not realize the danger that they're asking for? Because then you're going to get a PlayStation with the exclusivity to Netflix, and the Xbox people aren't going to be able to watch Netflix, and then Stars is going to be
Prime. Yeah.
Yeah, Stars will be exclusive to Xbox, and you won't be able to watch Stars on PlayStation. I mean, is that really what people want? I mean, versus exclusive games?
I hope not.
I'd rather have exclusive games than exclusive services.
Which then?
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen.
You need to be able to
The
stream to
services are
YouTube
already
from your
too
Xbox
big.
then.
Well, they are. I mean, they are. Those services are. But I mean,
Yeah.
the new services coming out, that's what it would be.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to have like Spotify? Like how bad was like Xbox guys like saying that they wanted Spotify so badly? And PlayStation had that exclusive deal. I mean, if we would have been in that world where there was no exclusive games, then that Spotify deal would have been wrapped up into PlayStation. And that, I mean, is that really what people would rather want? Because I mean, if you're using your gaming device as a /multimedia thing, you want to be able to have access to all the multimedia options. So I mean, I'd rather have have to buy another platform for a few games than have to buy another platform for a fucking Netflix app. Or I mean, we're just using Netflix here, but it would suck to have two things and not even want a game on the other one, just have to use it for Stars.
Yep.
Or HBO or whatever.
Yeah. A $400 box for Stars and HBO, like that would just suck.
But it would still sell. That's the sad part.
Yeah, it would. But I mean, I would not want to see them. What's it called? Go into services. Rambo, Robert, I don't know if they are interested in it or not. I mean, that was a while back whenever Insomniac made that tweet, and now they've made the tweet again, but they never said anything about Xbox or PlayStation. They just said they need a publisher. But I don't know the story on it behind it now, but I mean, I don't know if Microsoft would be willing to fund it or not.
I hope they do.
It would be nice. I mean, it would definitely be a notch in their favor, because like the fear of single player games being gone on that platform and getting Sunset Overdrive 2. I mean, granted, it didn't do that well the first time, but who knows? Maybe the second time is going to be their what am I trying to say? The Uncharted 2 moment, where Uncharted 1 didn't do all that great, but Uncharted 2 was like, game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I really got to get going. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Is you sure there's nothing else you guys want to bring up?
Let me just check something real quick just to make sure but I don't think there is, but. just in case if something popped up like here. Did you? I mean, just real quick while I'm scrolling through, I saw something. Did you know the game gifting is going to be a thing for alpha members? I think right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty cool
Yeah, it's about
what game?
time for Xbox.
for
Oh.
Xbox. Yeah.
They've added it to like everything now. Like it's even on the BattleNet app for PC.
Yep.
I mean, it didn't used to be. You used to have to send your friends a code.
I'm hoping to see, Sony fall into line with it. I don't see any kind of big stories or anything like that like popping up right now, but I think we covered most of the crap going on.
Did you have anything, Pete?
Nope.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully Brimstone is back next episode. Remember, you can always leave in the comments, Gangster, a.k.a. Pete. Please get a Twitter. I love you. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.